kicking off. Smith is deep, and he's waiting at the 1-yard line. He returns it to the 5, to the 10. That's right to the 15, across the 20. Lunges upfield for a couple of yards and is stopped there across the 20-yard line. First and 10 at the 23. So the Atlanta Falcons had their first victory of the day when they won the toss. Ron Springs was downfield to make the tackle as Smith returned to kick off. And the Atlanta Falcons bring Bartkowski onto the field. Completion percentage 55.5. 31 touchdown passes, 16 interceptions. William Andrews and Lynn Kane are the running back. Kane is on the tail of the tandem. They bring him up there in an I formation. The up back is Andrews. Bartkowski calling starting signals, wide receiver to the left side. Bartkowski handing it off to Lynn Kane. Kane tries the left side, gets at most a yard if that, as he is smothered by the Cowboy defense.
And you talk about that Cowboy defense, Dallas losing the services of two of their defensive players with injuries against that Los Angeles Ram team. Safety Randy Hughes dislocated his shoulder, and linebacker Mike Hegman dislocated an elbow. Hughes was to undergo surgery earlier in the week. He's out, of course, for the playoffs. Guy Brown replaces Hegman in the starting linebacker role. Dennis Thurman becomes the starting safety once again.
Well, it's 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line. Gained about a foot on that first play from scrimmage with the ball carried by Kane. Bartkowski still waiting for the snap. Hands it off this time to Andrews. He tries the left side. Powers his way across the 25-yard line. Gets out there to about the 27 for 4. Well, it'll be 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Harvey Martin coming in to make the tackle. And here comes Alfred Big Play Jackson onto the field. He had 7 touchdowns. 23 completions to him this year. Wallace Francis comes off the field. 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Jackson, formerly of the University of Texas, comes to a wide right. They split the running backs. Kane to the left side, Andrews to the right. For Steve Bartkowski. Bartkowski now fakes the handoff, gives it off, and it's taken by Kane to the right side. Across the 30 and out of bounds, 1st and 10. Nice handoff by Bartkowski as he got it to Kane, and Kane went out of bounds as he crossed the 35-yard line. It was Steve Wilson on the defensive play, and it's taken to the inbound marker and spotted now at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10.
Good play call that time by Steve Bartkowski, the young signal caller for Atlanta. The Dallas Cowboys obviously expecting the pass. You look at Atlanta in first downs. They've gained 166 over the regular season by passing, 145 on the ground, so basically pretty even.
Now they come out with a wide receiver to the left side. He's in motion back toward the inside. Bartkowski with a straight drop. Takes a look, goes to the left side, incomplete. Trying to get to Andrews out there in the flat, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 38-yard line.
And Bartkowski likes to go to his backs coming out of the backfield. Alfred Jenkins is his favorite receiver. Then Wallace Francis. Then William Andrews. Junior Miller, the tight end. And Lynn Kane.
2nd down, 10 yards to go for the Atlanta Falcons. Won 12 games and lost 4 this year. And a playoff game here at Atlanta, Fulton County Stadium. The entire playing field just now is in shadow. We have a bright, sunny day in Atlanta. Beautiful football afternoon. Alfred Jenkins is far to the right side. Langston's out another yard. Wide receivers left and right. Try the draw play. And this time it is Andrews driving, and he gets across the 45-yard line and up to the 47-yard line. Turning. Benny Barnes comes off the corner to make the tackle along with D.D. Lewis, the veteran linebacker.
Huge hole on the draw play opened up that time. Jeff Van Oat, the center. Warren Bryant, the right tackle. Dave Scott, the left guard. And it's close to first down yardage as they bring in the sticks right now for the measurement.
Red Silver is the referee here this afternoon. He's going to be a little short, almost a yard short. So it will be a 3rd down play.
Of course, the young defense of the Atlanta Falcons, one of the reasons this team improved so much. Also the play of the offensive line. Bartkowski's cut way down on his interceptions, and when you're given the kind of pass protection that Atlanta's offensive front 5 have afforded him, it's easy to do that. Also, they have cut down on their quarterbacks being sacked. They've cut it from 54 to 35, a net pickup of 19.
3rd and 1 at the 47-yard line. Andrews ahead of Kane on an I formation. Tight alignment. It's the wing left. Here's Kane diving for the first down. He got it. Lynn Kane, tail of the tandem in the I formation. Stood up by Benny Barnes, but not in time to prevent him getting the 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Just simply power football right over big Jeff Van Oat, the center. And he dove over the top and then had a little bit of running room before one of the Cowboys stuck his helmet in there. Lynn Kane gained 914 yards rushing during the season, despite having only 2 runs of 20 yards or more. So he's kind of their power runner, the man they go to inside.
They had McKeska in there for the one play, double tight end. McKeska has come off the field, replaced by a wide receiver once again. Bartkowski dropping back to set. He's going long to Jenkins, and it's incomplete at the 9-yard line. Just beyond the reach of Alfred Jenkins, who had 57 receptions and 6 touchdowns during the regular season. 2nd and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Jenkins has caught passes in 73 consecutive games, and that time worked the inside post pattern on number 31, Benny Barnes, the 9-year veteran from Stanford. Bartkowski put the ball right on the money, just about a yard overthrown. Barnes with him, but inside position to Jenkins.
2nd down, 10 yards to go. It's Jackson now on a wide right. Wallace Francis to a wide left. The running backs are well split for Bartkowski. Andrews left and Kane right. Bartkowski drops back to look. Again wants to go long and does. And it's complete to the left side. Taken across the 30-yard line and on down to the 25-yard line. So that the Atlanta Falcons have moved now deep into the territory of the Dallas Cowboys. Charlie Waters finally making the tackle, along with Bob Brunig.
Junior Miller, 47 receptions on the year, 584 yards, averaging almost 13 yards, and 9 touchdowns. And the big fellow open over on the left side, as Lindsey called it. They blitzed D.D. Lewis from the left side. He got to Bartkowski, but not before Bartkowski found Junior Miller, his huge tight end, and another first down for the Falcons. I think it was Tom Brookshire who said, Junior Miller, you take a look at that guy, number 80. He is 6'4", 235. If he's junior, I'd like to meet senior.
Junior has come off the field just now. McKeska has replaced him. Lone setback in this alignment slot right. That's Francis. Andrews gets the ball to the left side and drives his way down to the 20-yard line. He picked up 5 on the ground to make it 2nd down and 5 as the Atlanta Falcons move steadily here in their first possession, first quarter in Atlanta. Guy Brown came to make the tackle.
Very impressive opening drive put out by the Atlanta Falcons right now against the veteran Dallas Cowboy team. A playoff-proven team, the Dallas Cowboys. Falcons, as we said at the top of the broadcast, making their 2nd playoff appearance in 3 years. Might be important as far as momentum goes for the Falcons to take it down to the Dallas Cowboys. Put some points on the board very early, but I asked one of the Falcons before the game about that. He said, no, not really. The way we play this year, it's almost important the Cowboys score first. We like to come from behind.
They're in a slot right, and that's Wallace Francis. Jenkins outside him right. Bartkowski short, drop, pumps twice, throws into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Incomplete, bobbled up into the air by Jenkins. He tried to catch it coming down, could not. Incompletion, 3rd and 5, and Charlie Waters was covering on the play.
Jenkins was wide open deep in the right corner of the Dallas Cowboy end zone. Bartkowski with a short drop that time fooled the linebackers who went to pick up the back sliding out. Jenkins had beaten the secondary, primarily number 32, Dennis Thurman, the 3rd-year man from Southern California, bobbled the ball. It all goes for a long incompletion.
Junior Miller comes back into the ballgame. Alfred Jackson comes into the ballgame on a 3rd and 5 for Atlanta at the Dallas 20-yard line. Jenkins far to the right side. Andrews the lone setback. Miller's lined in a wing right. Bartkowski dropping back. And he throws, and it's incomplete. A post being run by Jenkins, who really wasn't aware that the ball was going to get there that quickly. And so Benny Barnes covered him, and it's 4th and 5.
Jenkins running the post, and Bartkowski threw to the flag, and so it goes 3rd and 4 incomplete. And we'll see Tim Mazzetti now, former bartender in Philadelphia, try to put Atlanta out on top, certainly well within his range.
His longest of the year was 50. James is in the hole, and this will be a 38-yarder. 38-yard attempt from the hash mark left by Tim Mazzetti. James, the punter, on one knee, hand outstretched, waits for the snap. Puts it down. Mazzetti boots it up, and it is good. And so the Atlanta Falcons have scored first. With the score Atlanta 3, Dallas nothing. Let's take time out.
Sam, as your accountant, I'm advising you to do something about your office copies.
What's wrong, George?
You keep replacing them all the time. That's expensive, Sam, and peculiar.
But my copying needs keep changing, so I have to keep changing my copier. That's the way life is.
You have to get a big, expensive, inflexible copier that's just as big, just as expensive, and just as inflexible as your last big, expensive, inflexible copier. That's life.
That isn't life?
Sam, next time, get a Sharp 800 series plain paper copier with microprocessor technology.
Oh?
The basic copier, the high-speed copier, the reduction copier, doesn't matter.
No.
Sharp copiers are all flexible.
Uh-huh.
As your needs change, you don't go out and get another copier. You add options.
Uh-huh.
You need automatic document feeding, you get an option. You need electronic collating, you get an option, you see?
Yeah.
Flexible.
Now I see what they mean when they say sharp people plan ahead.
For more information, call your local authorized Sharp dealer or 800-447-4700. In Illinois, call 800-322-4400.
The young Atlanta Falcons of Lehman Bennett, winners in the NFC West, take the opening kickoff. They go 56 yards, 12 plays. They use 5:21 on the clock, a 38-yard field goal for the former bartender at Smokey Joe's in Philadelphia, Tim Mazzetti. And the Falcons are smoking early.
Tim Mazzetti ready to tee the ball up on the 35-yard line now. James Jones is dropped back center deep for the Dallas Cowboys. He's flanked on the right side by Timmy Newsom and on the left side by Steve Wilson. Carefully, Mazzetti is placing the ball on the tee at the 35-yard line. This was a quiet crowd before the start of today's ball game, as opposed to yesterday when Jim and I were in San Diego, and starting at about high noon, they had whooped it up continuously. It was an anticipatory crowd here. Here comes Mazzetti now. Boots it. Knuckleball to the left side over near the sideline. It is fielded in lateral long. And it's going to be stopped at the 22-yard line. Fielded by a lineman over there who simply handed the ball off and gave it to Jones. So they will start first and 10 at the 22-yard line.
The veteran Dallas Cowboy team with a new leader at the helm. Of course, it's Danny White, who's replaced the retired Roger Staubach. When the Dallas Cowboys beat the Atlanta Falcons back in 1978 in Atlanta, it was Danny White who took over for the injured Roger Staubach. 10 of 20, 170 yards, and 1 touchdown.
They come up there initially in a slot left. They have got Robert Newhouse and Tony Dorsett evened up now. Newhouse is in the right set. Dorsett's in the left set. Dropping back is Danny White to pass on first down. He's going long. Way downfield, incomplete. Intending it for Tony Hill. And it's going to be second down and 10 yards to go at the 22-yard line.
Lindsey, I don't know how it looked to you, but I thought that Tony Hill had a shot at catching the ball. It looked like he might have pulled a muscle and just kind of given up. He certainly split the defenders, and the ball was certainly out there. He only missed it by a yard or so, but he's going over to the sideline right now. I think he might have pulled a muscle.
He might have, because he did seem to pull up a little bit before that final effort that one would expect. It's second and 10 for Dallas at the 22-yard line. And Butch Johnson now goes to a wide right in there in place of Hill, running back to an I formation. Newhouse now evened up. With Dorsett, he goes back to the tailback in the I formation. Motion across. That's Drew Pearson. Dorsett gets it, goes to the right side, and he is stood up there in a hurry by Don Smith, who is the nose tackle in that three-down lineman defense of the Atlanta Falcons. Forward progress will be marked up near the 24-yard line. As Dorsett was thrown back, it'll be 3rd and 8.
No secret about the fact these young Falcons feel if they can shut down the running of Tony Dorsett, they can contain the Dallas Cowboys offensive unit all together here this afternoon with their young defensive charges. Dorsett last week against the Rams, 160 yards on the ground. That's what Atlanta wants to do this afternoon. Force Danny White to throw, and that's what they've done here on 3rd and long.
They move into the shotgun now, sending Danny White 7 yards deep to take the direct snap from center. On 3rd down, he has the ball in the retreat. Goes to the right side. Incomplete. Incomplete at the 34-yard line. Roland Lawrence making a defensive move over there. And so it'll be forced out, and the hand is for the defense of the Atlanta Falcons.
And Tony Dorsett is injured over on the far side. He was caught pretty good by Roland Lawrence. The ball almost deflected into the waiting arms of Tony Hill, who was back in on that play. That time Danny White had lots of time to throw. It was simply a down and out. The ball was overthrown. Dorsett was open. And the man with the initial hit was 56, Al Richardson, the rookie from Georgia Tech. Roland Lawrence almost came up with the INT. Actually, Hill became the defender on the play. And Dorsett is still down at the 34-yard line.
Members of the training staff out there attending to him now, as the Atlanta Falcons already have deployed in position to receive the expected punt from Danny White. But Dorsett still is on the turf, and it is turf here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, natural grass. Now, Dorsett is up, and he is walking under his own power over toward the sideline.
Boy, that would be a huge loss for the Dallas Cowboys if Dorsett were to go out. His replacement in the backfield would be James Jones. But certainly Jones, no discredit to him, is no Tony Dorsett.
Kenny Johnson has dropped back to the 30-yard line now. Danny White averaged 40.9. His longest punt of the year was 58 yards. He's standing at his own 8-yard line, waiting for the long snap from center Tom Rafferty. He gets it, puts it up. Penalty marker is thrown. Ball is taken at the 40-yard line. Taken at the 40-yard line and dropped right there by Bob Glazebrook. So that is where they will start as soon as we have checked out the penalty.
That's a 36-yard punt by Danny White. I believe it's going to be holding against the Atlanta Falcons. Now it's a question of whether it was before the change of possession or not. If it was not, it will be a Dallas first down, and the Dallas offense thinks they've got the ball back.
Referee Fred Silver says, bring it back to me, and he takes it back toward the line of scrimmage. And he starts to mark off the penalty against the Atlanta Falcons. The 5-yarder to the 29. Let's listen to Fred Silver. We are listening, but we don't hear anything. We see a holding indicated, which is an automatic first down at the 29-yard line.
Defensive holding, Earl Jones, number 20, the rookie from Norfolk State. I had the glasses of lip reading.
So the Cowboys retain possession. 8:21 remaining in the first quarter. Running back to the I formation. They're in the slot left. They move Dorsett over with Newhouse. Motion across. That's Drew Pearson. Newhouse tries the right guard, and he gets only to the 30-yard line for one. Swarmed by the red-shirted defenders led by Jeff Yates. 9-year veteran from Boston College, and Al Richardson, the fine rookie from Georgia Tech who had such a great year.
Well, in beating the Los Angeles Rams last week, 34-13, the Dallas Cowboys put on the greatest offensive performance, certainly among them in the history of their team in postseason play, with over 500 yards total offense. But right now, the Atlanta Falcons defense equal to the task. Again, the running game has been completely shut down. Dorsett and Newhouse next to nothing on the ground. White will have to loosen her up with short little passes to Pearson and to Tony Hill.
Running backs are well split on a 2nd and 9. Motion back toward the center and all the way across by Drew Pearson. Danny White retreating straight back to set. Hops it over the middle, and it is complete to Dorsett. Almost at the 35. He was pushed back. Buddy Curry, linebacker, hit him there. It'll be marked just short of the 35-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play will make it 3rd down and 4.
You don't think Tony Dorsett knows he's in a football game right now. The right side linebacker, Buddy Curry, number 50, 6'3", 221, a rookie from North Carolina, stuck it to Dorsett, who was popped pretty good on the preceding series, you recall. The linebackers, the young linebackers, 3 rookies in there, along with second-year man Joel Williams, the key to this Atlanta defense.
3rd and 4. Dorsett has gone out of the ball game. And Preston Pearson is in there, the veteran back. Drew Pearson in motion all the way across. They're in a double wing set. Direct snap out of the shotgun. Danny White throwing, and it is incomplete. Almost intercepted by Kenny Johnson. Penalty marker on the play.
Thrown by the linesman across the way at about the 35-yard line. It'll be illegal procedure against Dallas, and I'm sure the Falcons will decline the penalty and force Danny White into a punting situation again.
Kenny Johnson has dropped back deep already. Indication is that it was a procedure penalty declined, and so Danny White does drop back into deep punt formation. 6 minutes, 44 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Atlanta is leading by a score of 3-0. NFC Championship Playoff. First round. Snap and the punt. Long, high spiraling kick. Johnson goes back to the 14-yard line. He's back to the 15, and he's never going to get to the 20-yard line. He'll be stopped short of the 20. That's where the Atlanta Falcons will start. There's a timeout on the field with a score: Atlanta 3 and Dallas nothing.
You can make a clean sweep of many spring cleaning projects and year-round household chores if you use quality Empire brushes and brooms from True Value hardware stores. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you they're offering values like a long-handled refrigerator coil brush for just $3.48. With it, you can easily clean hard-to-reach coils and motor fans to improve efficiency and help save energy and money. Or choose from a selection of Empire brushes for just 98 cents each, including a scrub brush, toilet bowl brush, or a pack of 2 brushes for cleaning vegetables or hands. And for your cooking convenience, True Value hardware stores are offering a grease grabber brush for just $1.48 that skims grease and oil from soup, gravy, and other liquids. See these and all the other quality Empire brushes and brooms available at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
True Value hardware is more than just a name. It's our way of doing business. That means True Value.
Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson back with you in Atlanta, where the Falcons lead by a score of 3-0 early in the first quarter against the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, the winner of this game goes on and plays the Philadelphia Eagles, a 31-16 winner against the Minnesota Vikings yesterday at Veterans Stadium. If the Cowboys, the wild card entrant, were to win this game, the NFC Championship would be in Philadelphia. If the Falcons win, the championship game will be here because the Falcons defeated the Eagles during the regular season 17-10.
When play is resumed, it'll be 1st and 10. The ball is short of the 20-yard line for the Atlanta Falcons, who have a 3-point lead, 6:31 remaining in the first quarter. Steve Bartkowski brings them up. Kane on the right side, Andrews on the left side, wide receivers left and right, motion across for the Atlanta Falcons. Bartkowski handing it off. Leave it on the ground, and it is taken up there by Andrews, and he got just across the 25-yard line. Picked up about 5 on the play. Bob Brunig, the middle linebacker, in to make the tackle for the Dallas Cowboys.
Lindsey, on that first drive where the Falcons came away with a field goal, they ran the ball 5 times. They passed the ball 6 times. Pretty balanced attack led by Bartkowski. So you can expect Bartkowski to throw on first down, certainly on second down, and loosen up the Dallas secondary a little bit.
Well, it's 2nd down and 5 at the 25-yard line. Again, Bartkowski waits for the snap. Gets it and gives it off to Kane. And Kane finds some running room across the 30. He's got the first down, gets across the 35, 36-yard line. Dennis Spearman brought him down.
Lynn Kane finished the regular season with 915 yards, the only other Falcon running backs ever to gain more than 900 yards, along with Kane and William Andrews. Dave Hampton and William Andrews. Kane and Andrews combined for over 2,200 yards, more than any other running tandem in the NFC.
First down and 10 yards to go with the ball spotted back to the 35-yard line. Here comes Jenkins, far to the right side. The running backs are evened up. Andrews in the left set, Kane in the right, motion all the way across by Wallace Francis. Bartkowski dropping back, and he throws to Francis out in the right flat, complete. He goes out of bounds as he approached the 40-yard line. It was Aaron Mitchell on that corner over there who bounced him out of bounds.
And Mitchell, in the opinion of several Falcons on the near side, bounced him a little bit too vigorously out of bounds. Some of the Falcons having word with Mitchell, who walks back into the defensive huddle. Meanwhile, we look at Steve Bartkowski, who's doing a good job, I think, of mixing the run and the pass early in this football game. The Atlanta Falcons right now are taking the football game to the Dallas Cowboys.
Alfred Big Play Jackson comes into the ball game now. Wallace Francis comes off for Atlanta. 2nd down and 5 yards to go. Atlanta with the ball at their own 40. They come up in an I formation. Andrews ahead of Kane for Bartkowski. Wide receivers left and right. Bartkowski fakes the handoff, and the ball is batted down incomplete as he was trying to get it up down the screen left. But Harvey Martin had a big hand up to deflect it. It's going to be 3rd and 5 at the 40-yard line.
Cowboys coming with a blitz that time. They sent Charlie Waters, number 41, in from the left side, the veteran from Clemson, 10 years. And he almost got to Bartkowski. Lynn Kane cut him down with a block. And about that time, Ed Too Tall Jones, who was in there, was putting a lot of heat on Bartkowski. Jones, of course, has a little bit of a problem with a big toe on his right foot. And when you're 6'5 and a half, 260, that toe is indeed a big toe.
Third down and 5 yards to go. Running backs a split this time with the wide receivers left and right, and the slot left as well. Witkowski retreats. Throws long, and it is Jenkins, and he's got it at the 22, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Alfred Jenkins took it in for the TD. 60 yards for the touchdown.
Well, we mentioned that Alfred Jenkins had 4 receptions for 91 yards against the Rams. Due to the regular season with 72 consecutive game passes streak intact. Number 73 right there, the big play, the bomb from Barkowski, 60 yards. The man he beat for the Dallas Cowboys was Aaron Mitchell, the second-year man from Nevada, Las Vegas, who was wide open. And Lindsey, if this is a prognostication of things to come, it's reminiscent of what the Los Angeles Rams did to the Dallas Cowboys back on Monday, December 22nd, when Vince Ferragamo shredded the secondary of the Cowboys. Tom Landry said, when you've got receivers that wide open, there's absolutely nothing you're going to do.
Mazzetti in to attempt the conversion with James holding for him. Hands outstretched, he put it down, and the kick is high, and up there good for Mazzetti. And now with the score, Atlanta 10, Dallas nothing. Let's take time out.
This bud's for all the men in black and white. Yeah, to the guys who always have the last word. Here's to the referee.
Bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do.
Just for you guys who blow the whistle and fling the flag. Here's that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
I don't always agree with him, Jack, but where would we be without him?
Well, sometimes you'd be about 15 yards closer to the goal line.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
You deserve it, refs, so take time out after the game for a cold Bud. It just might be your best call all day.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
The Atlanta Falcons take the opening drive, go 56 yards, come away with a 38-yard Tim Mazzetti field goal. On the Falcons' next possession in the football game, still in the first quarter, they go 86 yards in 5 plays. 60 of those yards bombs away Bartkowski, his 32nd touchdown toss. Jenkins, his 7th scoring strike reception. 10-0 Atlanta early in the first quarter.
Mazzetti will tee it up now. His previous kick was fielded by Bruce Other, a lineman on the far side who rattled it off. The deep men are James Jones in the center, Steve Wilson on the left side, and Timmy Newsom on the right side. As now Mazzetti is carefully teeing the ball up at the 35-yard line. Late afternoon start here, of course, in Atlanta, and for that reason, the playing field is completely in shadow. Only the fans on the far side of the field from our position here are in sunshine. But it's been a bright, crisp, comfortable day here in Atlanta, Georgia, for this game between the Atlanta Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys. Referee Silver sounds the whistle. Here comes Mazzetti. Puts it up end over end. Jones is waiting at the 10-yard line. Goes right to the 15, to the 20. James Jones to the 25, to the 30, 35. Breaks it out to the 40-yard line before he's dragged down. And so it is Jones who made the tackle. And it will be 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Jimmy Jones, an explosive kind of ball player for the Dallas Cowboys. On 32 kickoff returns, he's picked up almost 720 yards, averaging about 22 yards a return. His longest is 41, and this one gives the Cowboys their best field position by far. Dallas trailing by a score of 10-0. And Tom Landry, not like some coaches and some coaches we've seen in the playoffs, he's not one to stay with a game plan if it's not working. He'll make adjustments as the game goes along, especially when he finds himself down 10-zip.
Got Preston Pearson in there now in the left set. Motion back by Drew Pearson. Danny White drops, sets, throws, and it is incomplete. Intended for Ron Springs. Ron Springs out of the backfield on the left side. It's 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line. Covering with Al Richardson, the linebacker on that side.
Richardson, the rookie from Georgia Tech, with James Jones. Or check it with Ron Springs, stride for stride over in the left flat. Kind of a strangely called pass pattern. White looked downfield to Tony Hill. He was covered. And actually, Springs was supposed to be the safety man, and he was covered by Richardson. 2nd and long for Dallas.
So now they're up there for the moment in an I formation. As you know, they do a lot of movement, and they do it now. Sending Preston Pearson over to the right set, dropping back. Danny White throws a screen left, and it's taken there by Dorsett. Dorsett is up to the 45-yard line before he's popped there. Jeff Yates in to make the tackle after a gain of 5 on the screen left. It's 3rd down and 5 yards to go.
Dorsett getting up ever so slowly and kind of hobbling back to the Cowboys huddle right now. He's one man that knows he's in a football game. Atlanta keying on Tony Dorsett, both running and passing. Again, they feel that if they can shut him down, they can shut the Cowboys down completely offensively. And with 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter, that's been the case. The Cowboys have done little offensively in their 2 possessions. Meanwhile, Atlanta's had the ball twice, and they put points up on the board twice.
Another big 3rd down occasion, and the crowd is rising to that. Dallas with wide receivers left and right for Danny White, who is back to set it up. And he whips it complete up to the 50-yard line. Now they'll have to mark it carefully to see about the 6. It was Dupree, Billy Joe Dupree, the tight end. Fulton Kuykendall made the hit. Now, where are you going to spot it? And then take a look, and is it a first down? It's very close.
I believe they'll have to bring the sticks into measure on this one. And you've got an interesting call early in this football game for Tom Landry, because if they miss this first down, Lindsey, it's by just the length of the football. If you're Landry, you're down 10-0. You're in the other guy's ballpark. Do you go for it on 4th and a foot? Maybe it'll be academic if they picked up the first down.
They measure it now, extend the sticks. Fred Silver takes a careful look. 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Falcon rooters decked out in their red and black. Not happy with that. But it gives the Cowboys a big first down at midfield. And now when you're down 10-0, you get down kind of in that 4-down territory, because it's imperative for the Cowboys to, on this drive, come away with some kind of points.
Clock is running. 3:25 remaining in the first quarter. The town of Atlanta, Georgia, is excited about the fact that the Atlanta Falcons had the good year that they had, that they are in the playoffs, that they have a shot. All over town, there's football enthusiasm. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. Here's a quick pitch, and they're going to try the reverse with Drew Pearson carrying. Pearson goes to the right side across the 50-45. Drew Pearson stopped at the 41-yard line. Kenny Johnson made the tackle over there, along with Don Smith.
You talk about the city of Atlanta being excited about their Falcons. The whole state's pretty excited about the Bulldogs. Big winner in the Sugar Bowl against Notre Dame and the expected #1 ranking. Although some folks in Pittsburgh, notably Jackie Sherrill's Panthers, might argue with that.
I saw a banner around here a moment ago already proclaiming the Georgia Bulldogs the national champions. They're not waiting for any polls. 2nd down and 1 yard to go at the 41-yard line. Cowboys trying to keep their drive alive. Dorsett's the lone setback. Now he's joined by Ron Spring. Motion back toward the inside by Drew Pearson. Danny White sets up, going long, and it is complete inside the 25-yard line to Tony Hill. Tony Hill stopped there. He's just short of the 20-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10. Buddy Curry made the stop.
Again, the Dallas Cowboys. Tom Landry, his 21st season as the head coach, the 3rd winningest coach in the NFL. Not one to stay with a game plan if it's not working. They tried to establish the running game, El Zippo. They've gone back to the pass. You won't see a finer catch in terms of concentration than that one by Tony Hill in the midst of triple coverage, and credit Danny White because he threw it on a thimble right in there.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. They are doubling Drew Pearson and Tony Hill to the right side, split the running back. Now move them up to a lone setback. Now Dorsett evens up. Short drop for Danny White. And he throws into the end zone, and it's incomplete. He had Tony Hill down there in the end zone, but threw it deep out of section, and Roland Lawrence was covering.
He had Tony Hill running a post pattern deep in the end zone. He also had Drew Pearson over in the right corner on a flag pattern. That time, Danny White, who is a right-handed thrower, scrambling out to his left and trying to hit a receiver that was running from his right to his left. And his quarterbacks will tell you there's nothing more difficult in pro football or in college football to do than when you're running one direction and come back against the grain and throw another. Otherwise, it would have been a Dallas touchdown.
The chant from the Atlanta Falcon fans is defense as the Dallas Cowboys come up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line. Atlanta's leading 10-0. Second back, a deep drop now, and White is throwing incomplete across the left sideline. He dropped back there about 30 yards. Joel Williams was putting the pressure on him. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 yards to go at the 20-yard line.
Danny White now 4 of 10 for a total of 36 yards. Missed 2 open receivers the play before that one, just thrown away. Otherwise, a big interception. Falcons coming with a blitz, and you can expect more of the same now on 3rd and 10.
Cowboys reconvene their huddle. Falcons deploy their defensive alignment. There goes Drew Pearson out to wide right, doubled with Tony Hill over there. 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Preston Pearson comes out to a wide left. Dropping back now is Danny White. He guns it into the end zone. Touchdown. Incomplete. Butch Johnson had it and dropped it. Butch Johnson had it for just a second. Kenny Johnson was there. And now the Dallas Cowboys are gathered around the official there deep. Held just for the moment. Butch Johnson.
They're going to have an officials discussion down there right now because one official was very late on the call. The other immediately signaled no good. Butch Johnson catches the ball. Then it was stripped loose. And I'm not so sure that the Dallas Cowboys don't have a legitimate complaint.
Kenny Johnson was the man who stripped it from Butch Johnson. All you got to do is have it in the end zone and have possession of it.
He had that. His feet were down. And then from behind, Johnson stripped it loose.
The officials say no catch, incomplete, 4th and 10 at the 20-yard line. We'll have now a field goal attempt. It'll be a 38-yarder for Rafael Septien, who had 11 of 17. His longest was 51 yards. Charlie Waters holding, down on one knee. And outstretched puts it down. Septien with the field goal, and it is good. And the Dallas Cowboys get 3 points on the board. There's a pause in the action. Let's take timeout.
A great defensive play by Kenny Johnson, number 37, the rookie from Mississippi State, to strip Butch Johnson, number 86 of the Dallas Cowboys, from the football. But certainly and very clearly after Johnson had caught the ball, had possession of it in the end zone.
The officials talked it over as they were coming back up the field, because I'm sure that their interpretation will be that the ball has to be brought in after it has been caught. It has to be brought in and fully possessed by the receiver, and that, of course, becomes fully a judgment call. The umpire here today is Pat Harder. The head linesman is Tony Vittoria. The line judge is Dan Hancock. The back judge is Stan Javier. The side judge is Dean Look, and the field judge is Don Orr.
And the unhappy Cowboy is Butch Johnson.
He is indeed. Don Orr, you'll recall, was the official involved last year in the game between Pittsburgh and Houston on Renfro's catch. Score 10-3, the Falcons leading by 7 points.
We mentioned that the Cowboys have won 6 out of 7 meetings between these two teams. Atlanta's only win in the series, November 21st, 1976, when the Falcons recorded their only win ever over the Cowboys, 17-10. The quarterback that day was Scott Hunter, who drove Atlanta for 17 points in a 5-minute span of the 4th quarter.
1st and 10, Bartkowski waiting for the snap now. Gives it off, and it's taken by Andrews. He tries the right side, but he's smothered by the Dallas defense as he got absolutely nothing. Ed Too Tall Jones in to make the tackle.
William Andrews now, 5 carries. And they give him a loss on the play. So a total of 21 yards. I'm sure after that 60-yard scoring drive and the bomb, Lindsey, from Bartkowski to Alfred Jenkins, they feel they can work on Aaron Mitchell all afternoon because Jenkins had Mitchell beaten a good 3-4 yards. I'm not so sure we won't see that play several times before this day is done.
2nd and 11 at the 22-yard line. Lone setback, wide receivers left and right. Dropping back Bartkowski again. Pops it over the middle, and it's complete. Taken by Wallace Francis up to the 38-yard line. That's a 1st and 10.
Wallace Francis, the second favorite receiver of Steve Bartkowski, 54 catches, 862 yards, averaging about 16 yards per catch, and 7 touchdown grabs on the season. Picks up a big 1st down for the Atlanta Falcons. That's the end of the 1st quarter with the score, Atlanta 10, Dallas 3. In the 1st quarter, the Atlanta Falcons 5 first downs, the Dallas Cowboys 3 yards rushing, Atlanta 46. The Cowboys shut down completely, just 12. Big difference in passing, 105 yards for the Falcons. Of course, the big one, the 60-yard scoring strike from Bartkowski to Alfred Jenkins. 36 yards passing for Danny White and the Dallas Cowboys. Total yards then, Atlanta 151 and Dallas just 48.
Atlanta Falcons will have the ball first and 10. They'll have it at the 38-yard line as we start playing the second quarter here. And as Jim Kelly has pointed out, the winner of this game will play the Philadelphia Eagles in the championship game in the NFC. San Diego, of course, the winner yesterday, will entertain the Oakland Raiders next Sunday. Jim Kelly and I will be there for the AFC Championship game on CBS Radio.
Didn't I just see you there yesterday?
Seems to me like I saw you in Phoenix somewhere last night.
On the airplane.
First and 10 at the 38 as they come out of the huddle, and Tim Jenkins part of the left side. Running backs are evened up for Bartkowski. Motion all the way across. That's Wallace Francis. And now throw out to the right side. It's taken over there by Junior Miller, the big tight end, and he is across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Dennis Thurman on the tackle there.
Good play call by Atlanta. The flow of the play that time designed to send everybody to the left, including Wallace Francis, who went in motion, and then Junior Miller, big number 80, 6'4", 235, the rookie from Nebraska, the big Cornhusker, pulled it down. And if Dennis Thurman, number 32, doesn't get him, there's not a Cowboy on that side of the field the rest of the way. So pretty good open field tackle by Thurman.
Second down and a long yard, actually about a yard and a half for the ball at the 47-yard line. And Atlanta Falcons possession. Running backs evened up, slot to the left side. Leave it on the ground. And Miller is trying to get the first down. I think he got it. For that last third, they'll spot it now and take a long look to see whether or not he picks up the first down. It's very, very close. William Andrews carrying. Harvey Martin made the tackle. Fred Silver, the referee, says bring out the chain and we'll measure for the possible first down. So the chain gang has arrived. It is extended. And it's going to be just inches short. They take the chain to spot the ball at the inbounds marker.
You want to bet that when Jeff Van Oat, the center, picks up the football, if they put it back down, he'd have a first down?
I think you're right. It's that close. It'll be third down. Inches to go at the 48-yard line. Andrews is the up back. Kane is the tailback in the I formation. They're on a tight wing right. Double tight end alignment. Kane gets the first and 10 at the 50-yard line. Going to the right side behind R.C. Thielman. Center Jeff Van Note, he picked it up.
Well, that's the percentage play. You give it to your power back and pick up the first down. The clock winding down. 13:30 left to go in the first half right now. Might have been a good down to waste the pass because you had the ball at midfield. And if you go for the touchdown bomb and it's incomplete, your punter backs the Cowboys up. But as it is, they retain possession at midfield.
Atlanta leading by a score of 10-3 as they even up the running backs. Wide receivers, right and left. Bartkowski again retreats. Looks and throws, and it's incomplete. Deflected in the secondary. Guy Brown was the linebacker dropping back. Who deflected it? Intended for Jenkins.
Guy Brown, the 4-year man from Houston, replacing Mike Hegman, as we told you at the top. He is out with an injury. Bartkowski, great protection again by the front five of the Atlanta Falcons, doing a good job. Mike Ken, Dave Scott, Jeff Van Oat, R.C. Thielman, and Warren Bryant in there, keeping the Dallas Cowboys off the back of their quarterback, number 10, a more mature Steve Bartkowski. As this Falcon defense has matured, Falcons used to be a team that did it basically on the strength of their defense, but with the maturing of Bartkowski, the arrival of William Andrews and Lynn Kane, they've been doing it with an explosive offense also.
Second down and 10 yards to go. Wide receivers left and right. Bartkowski dropping back. Throws incomplete, trying to get it to Andrews out in the right flat, but it's simply an incompletion that'll make it third down and 10 yards to go at the 50-yard line.
And about 30 yards away, all the way down at the Dallas 20-yard line, Charlie Waters gets up very slowly. He tried to pivot on Wallace Francis. Francis ran by him, and Charlie Waters fell down. He's getting up slowly and making his way back to the Dallas huddle.
Atlanta gets Big Play Jackson in there now. They bring Lynn Kane off the field. Jackson, a wide receiver. They send Jenkins to the right side, and Jackson comes to the left side.
Falcons 4 out of 5, Lindsey, on third down conversions.
Andrews is the lone setback. They have a slot back in the right side. Driving back is Bartkowski, and he throws to Jackson. He dives and gets it. for a 1st and 10 inside the 40-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Aaron Mitchell on that corner.
They've been working on Aaron Mitchell. The touchdown bomb was thrown against him, number 34 for the Dallas Cowboys, the second-year man from Nevada, Las Vegas. And that time he was way off the wide receiver, a good 5 or 6 yards. Now the backup is Steve Wilson. Should we see Coach Tom Landry become dissatisfied with Aaron Mitchell? Wilson is number 45, a second-year man from Howard. Right now the Falcons are not dissatisfied with Aaron Mitchell because they've been picking his pocket.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Falcons in possession. Bartkowski again, dropping and throwing to the right side, down the sideline, incomplete. And so it'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 38-yard line. As it was Steve Wilson covering on the left side that time. 2nd and 10.
Steve Wilson replacing, at least for that play, Benny Barnes. Now you've got Atlanta's 2nd down and 10. This is a good time to send the linebackers, maybe come with a safety blitz, because it's an obvious passing situation. You want to try to put some kind of pressure on Bartkowski. When you've got receivers the caliber of Jenkins, Francis, Andrews, and Big Junior Miller, you can't give a quarterback like Steve Bartkowski, who's completed over 55% of his passes, that much time to throw.
Jenkins to the left side, Francis to the right side. Bartkowski handing it off, and they come to the left side. Andrews bluffs off one tackler, tries to go back to the right, but he can't get away this time. Hit too tall. Jones was the man playing tag with Andrews, and finally pulled him down back there at the 47-yard line.
Big number 72, the 5-year veteran from Tennessee State, 6'9", 260, Ed Too Tall Jones, as the play comes in now from the Falcons bench in possession of Alfred Jackson, 3rd-year man from Texas.
3rd down and 19 yards to go as the ball is back there at the 47-yard line now. Clock is running with 11 minutes, 34 seconds remaining to be played in the first half.
This is a big play for the Dallas defense here, Lindsey. They have not stopped the Atlanta Falcons yet in this football game. Each time Atlanta's had the ball, they've gone down and scored.
Jenkins right, Jackson left. And now timeout's called by Bartkowski. He got up there, took a look, and decided he wanted to call a timeout, so he trots over to the sideline. With the score, Atlanta 10, Dallas 3. Let's take timeout.
Hi, this is Michael Landon. I spend a lot of time at my typewriter writing and rewriting scripts because I want them to turn out right. Same thing with my pictures. I want them to turn out right, too. And I make sure Kodak paper's behind them because, to me, Kodak says quality. So be sure to ask for the paper that says Kodak. It's always available where you see the Kodak paper sign. The sign with that memorable face. Mine. Look for the Kodak paper sign when you get your pictures developed. And tell them the guy on the sign sent you.
For a lot of reasons, a lot of people like our Buick Skylark. A lot. Some like its front-wheel drive traction. Others like its roomy accommodations for 5. Skylark also gets a lot of votes for its smooth and quiet 4-cylinder engine. And a lot of people are taken with its luxury and looks. We couldn't get all the reasons people like Skylark into this commercial, but we sure got them into the car. Buick Skylark. At your Buick dealers now.
Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson back with you from Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. The Falcons on top over the Cowboys 10-3, 11:21 left to go in the first half. The winner goes on to the NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia at 31-16 mauling over Minnesota yesterday at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. And that, of course, would be the NFC Championship game. If the Falcons win, the championship game is right here in Atlanta because the Falcons beat Philadelphia 17-10 during the regular season. If Dallas should win the game will be in Philadelphia because no wild card team can host a playoff game.
3rd down and 19 yards to go for the Falcons. They have the ball at the 47-yard line to the Dallas Cowboys. Up there now, running backs evened up. Bartkowski retreating. And he is hit. The ball bounds away. It's covered by a Dallas Cowboy, but is it an incompletion or a fumble? Dickinson's on the ball, and they retain possession. It is a fumble. Dickinson recovers for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, big play time for that doomsday defense of the Dallas Cowboys, which sets the offense up in excellent field protection. Dallas that time in their prevent defense, and the man that got through there, number 79, Harvey Martin, the 8-year veteran from East Texas State. So the Cowboys operate 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 45. Timeout on the field with a score, Atlanta 10, Dallas 3.
Joe McConnell here.
And Walter Payton.
Walter, when a Chicagoland Buick dealer tells a customer about the 1981 Buick Riviera, does he let him know all the features that come standard?
Joe, he wouldn't have enough time.
Oh, your Buick dealers are talking your language. We're talking what you want in a car.
You know what I'd tell a customer about the 81 Riviera if I were a Buick dealer?
What?
That the kitchen sink's just not available.
So if you like the way we're talking, we'd like to see you walk in to your Buick dealers right now. Your Buick dealers talking your language right now.
Walter, just listen to what comes standard on the new Riviera. Front-wheel drive, air conditioning, a turbocharger engine, automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes, power windows, power door locks, a power seat for the driver, a digital clock. Yeah.
You don't have enough time either.
Your Buick dealers are talking your language right now.
Well, we mentioned at the beginning that the Dallas Cowboys came in hoping that Tony Dorsett would be able to run the football. The Falcons felt if they could shut the running of Dorsett down, Tony, of course, with 160 yards last week against the L.A. Rams, that the Falcons would have a good chance to win this football game. Dorsett, a total of just 2 yards on the ground so far this afternoon, and Atlanta has 10 points to Dallas's 3. Tony Dorsett was held to 65 yards rushing by Atlanta in that 1978 playoff game. Dorsett's lowest rushing total in his 8 playoff games in which he's appeared.
First and 10 now for Dallas. It is Newhouse in the left set. Moving out a little bit now. Loosened up from Tony Dorsett. Motion across. Play action. Light is rolling and throwing, and it's complete to the tight end Dupree across the 30 and down to the 26-yard line. First and 10, Dallas at the Atlanta 26. Kuykendall and Curry made the stop.
Danny White starting to get on track now for the Dallas Cowboys. Had a couple of balls dropped early on. That time scramble out to the right side. Faked the inside handoff to Dorsett. That held the young linebacking core of the Atlanta Falcons, and he popped it over the middle to his outstanding tight end, Billy Joe Dupree, the 8-year man from Michigan State. 7 touchdown catches on the year.
Ball is spotted just outside the 25-yard line as the Cowboys break their huddle and come up to the line. Sending Drew Pearson to the left side. Tony Hill to the left side, Drew Pearson to the right side. Running backs are evened up now. Dupree is in motion across to the left. And they give it this time to Dorsett. He tries the right side, can't turn the corner. He got a yard to the 24-yard line as he was bounced out of bounds by Al Richardson. Rookie linebacker. It's going to be second down and 9 yards to go.
Falcons again are keying on Dorsett. You would expect that maybe Newhouse or Ron Springs would get a little bit more work, or Preston Pearson, number 26, but Pearson is primarily a pass catcher and a very good one at that. Now you have second down, 9 yards to go. Passing situation for Danny White, who has had 7 touchdown passes in his last 2 football games.
Tony Hill to the right side, Drew Pearson to the left side. Danny White waiting for the snap. Motion back toward the inside by Drew Pearson. Handed off to Dorsett. He tries the left side. Finds a little running room to the 20. And it's going out of bounds at the 16-yard line on the far side of the field. Kenny Johnson running him out over there. Now they'll take a long look at it. I think it's about a yard short of the first down.
Pat Donovan, the left tackle. Herbert Scott, the left guard. And Robert Shaw, the center, number 52, clearing that hole. And Dorsett turned it outside and did it on his own. Big block on the corner by Dupree, the tight end, to spring him around that side, but he is just shy of first down yardage. It's third and about 2 lengths of the football.
Just about at the 16-yard line. And now timeout call by the Dallas Cowboys. Danny White wants to talk it over with Tom Landry and staff. So now with the score, Atlanta 10, Dallas 3. Let's take timeout.
Have you been putting off buying that new car because interest rates are too high? Well, take a good look. Sure, the bank prime rate is way up. Sure, home mortgage costs are up. But the cost of financing your car with GMAC hasn't rocketed up like everything else. Your GM dealer who uses GMAC not only has money available right now, but at rates that haven't changed that much in the past few years. So come on into your GM dealer and check out that new Chevy, Pontiac, Olds, Buick, or Cadillac today.
The place? A hospital in Nebraska. A cancer specialist needs a complex analysis of his patient's blood.
Doctor, when will I know?
As soon as I hear from the lab in California.
California? That's 1,000 miles away.
They ship the package by express mail service. We'll know tomorrow. Overnight, express mail service delivers.
Thanks for the quick answer, Doc.
Express mail next day service. Overnight from over 2,000 post offices, we deliver. Sponsored by your postal service.
Don Shula used to say when you're on the road, the best way to silence the home crowd and take away some of that momentum is with a long scoring drive. Well, each of the last 2 times the Dallas Cowboys have had the football, this crowd a little reluctant. I'm not sure, Lindsey, that they know quite how to react right now. They have the feeling their Falcons are doing well, but they're just waiting for the Cowboys to do a little bit better.
Third down and a yard to go. Newhouse and Dorsett are the running backs in the ballgame now for the Cowboys. Quarterback sneak, Danny White, tries to wedge him out, and I think he got it. As he got just across the 15-yard stripe, it is a 1st and 10 at the 15.
Right behind Robert Shaw, the center, Tom Rafferty, the right guard, Jimmy Cooper, the left tackle. Danny White just tucked it under and waited for his offensive line to surge, and then bucked the head underneath and pushed it inside the 15-yard line for a key Cowboy first down. Keep this drive alive with 9:50 left to go in the first half, and Dallas down by 7.
Robert Shaw, the All-American center from the University of Tennessee, started at center in place of John Fitzgerald today. It's 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Newhouse evening up with Dorsett. Dorsett gets the ball and starts to the left side. Looks to cut back. He got a yard to the 14, and that's it. He was cut off at the pass, and quickly by Fulton Kuykendall. It's going to be 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Kenny Johnson also on the tackle. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
WBBM Chicago Sports Radio 78.
Kind of a strange call on first down from the 15-yard line because the Falcons' defense has been pretty well shutting down the running of Dorsett and Newhouse. Tom Landry elected to keep it on the ground to Dorsett, brings up 2nd down and long, and now it's time to go up top.
Ron Springs is in there in place of Newhouse now. Dorsett moves over a stride. Loosened up now is Springs and dropping back. Danny White throws screen to Springs on the left side. 15, 10, down to the 5-yard line and just inside the 5. It is Kenny Johnson and Tom Pridemore on the stop. Possible first down inside the 5 as they get them unstacked.
What a block. Herbert Scott, 6'2", 252, the 6-year man from Virginia Union, number 68, put on Al Richardson over there on the left side to spring the receiver who grabbed it in, Ron Springs. And I believe he picked up the first down, but what a block Scott put on it.
They're going to measure for the possible first down yardage. Fred Silva looks at it, says it is inches short. They'll take it to the inbounds marker and spot it there with the chain. And we'll have a 3rd down and inches.
Here comes the Beef Patrol.
That's it. The large folks come onto the field now on a 3rd and inches at the 5-yard line.
Doug Cosby, number 84, Billy Joe Dupre, 89. They go to the double tight end alignment.
We've got all the tight ends on the squad in there at the moment. Newhouse in the left set. Motion across Salty. And rolling is White and looking, and he throws, and it is taken at the goal line. Touchdown! The struggle in there for the touchdown. As it is Billy Joe Dupree, the tight end, who gathered it in, and he throws it up into the stands. And the Cowboys now have come back to a point where they trail by only 1 and a conversion attempt coming.
They faked the inside handoff. They sent number 87, Jay Salty, in motion, faked the handoff to Robert Newhouse. Then Danny White scrambled, was in trouble, actually stopped back at about his 12, lost it, a very feather-light pass to Salty, who was at the 1-yard line, and then joust out muscle, number 27, Tom Pridemore, the 3rd-year man from West Virginia, and got it ever so slightly across the goal line, but that's all you have to do.
Billy Joe Dupree with the touchdown, and here comes the conversion attempt. Waters will hold it. Raphael Septien steps up in boots, and it's good. And so there's a pause in the action with a score tie. Dallas 10, Atlanta 10. Let's take time out.
This bud's for you, for being on the job and working hard all day. This bud's for you. You know that nothing less than best can make it all the way. So here's to you. This bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. This bud's for you, because it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. This bud's for you. This bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through. For all you do.
quarterback Steve Bartkowski of the football. The Dallas Cowboys go 45 yards in just 6 plays, the last 5 of which Danny White's 28th scoring strike of the year, touchdown toss number 8 grabbed by Billy Joe Dupree, and the Cowboys, who fell behind quickly in this football game 10-0, have come roaring back to deadlock. Things were all even, 8:09 to go in the first half.
Raphael Septien has teed the ball up on the 35-yard line. Mike Smith is dropped back center deep, flanked by Alfred Jackson and Anthony Anderson. Deployed to receive the ball for the Atlanta Falcons. Here comes Septien. Long end-over-end kick. Mike Smith at his 4-yard line. He's at the 5. He's at the 10. Comes left to the 15. Turns it out to the 20, 25. Mike Smith to the 30, 35, right to the 40. Finally turns to Smith, stopped at the 43-yard line. It was Larry Basea who brought him down. The Atlanta Falcons start with excellent field position here now, and 7 minutes, 57 seconds left in the first half of the ball game. There's a Dallas man down and getting attention.
That's number 66 for the Dallas Cowboys. Big play time for number 86, though. Mike Smith, the rookie from Grambling, just as the Cowboys roar their way back into this football game 10-10. Mike Smith, who has returned 3 kickoffs prior to this game for a total of 58 yards, about 19-yard average, the longest 26. Sets up the Atlanta offense in good field position, their own 43-yard line.
Norm Wells is the man injured. He was added to the roster. He's an offensive guard normally, and they're on special teams. And Norm Wells is the man who is still on the turf getting attention from the training staff of the Dallas Cowboys.
When you're on the specialty teams, they add you and take you away weekly.
They really do. Expendable, they call it. He's on his feet now, and he'll be heading for the sideline, limping somewhat. The Atlanta Falcons anxious to get started first and 10 from their own 43-yard line.
There's a letter just in for you.
Saw that. Something floated down past our booth that covered the whole front of it here. A banner from up above that got loose. There are banners all over this stadium, as a matter of fact, from the upper decks particularly. Some down in front of the fences at either end of the field. Here come the Atlanta Falcons. First and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Out there with a single setback. Steve Bartkowski waits for the snap. They're in a slot right. Kane is the lone setback. He gets the ball, goes to the left side, and he gets across the 45-yard line up to the 46. Takes up 3 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 7 yards to go. It was Charlie Waters, the veteran strong safety, and Bob Brunig, the middle linebacker, who made the stop for the Dallas Cowboys.
When we talk about Andrews and Kane gaining over 2,200 yards between them this year, the highest total by any running back tandem in the NFC. William Andrews has carried now 6 times for 22 yards. Lynn Kane 6 times for 29 yards. Bartkowski just about even with both of his outstanding running backs. And in terms of running plays versus passing plays.
Francis in motion all the way across from the left set. Bartkowski dropping and throwing, and it is complete to Wallace Francis at the 50-yard line. He's out of bounds at the 49-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Aaron Mitchell bounced him out over there.
Again, they work on Aaron Mitchell. Again, Wallace Francis, number 89, was wide open. The speedster from Arkansas A&M, just a simple down and turn it out pattern. And Aaron Mitchell well off the ball again, as he's been most of the afternoon. And I would think, Lindsey, the Cowboys defense has got to shore up and give Mitchell some help, whether it's Wallace Francis or Alfred Jenkins or Alfred Jackson over there, because it's pretty apparent to Bartkowski that he can work on Aaron Mitchell most of the afternoon.
Third down and 2 yards to go.
It's also apparent to Tom Landry, who's grimacing on the sideline.
It is, in fact. 3rd and 2 at the 49-yard line. Crowd is rising to the occasion of the third down now. Kane in the left set, Andrews in the right set. Here's Kane looking for 2. Tries to stretch his body out to get to it, and again, it's one of those things that's very close, and they'll have to unstack them. Take a look to see whether or not Kane picked it up. Guy Brown was the man who upset him as he started across right guard and stretched his body out, knowing that he needed 2 yards to get the first down. Red Silver takes a long look at the sideline.
This might be a record for most number of appearances by the Chain Gang in the first half.
Isn't that true? Representatives of the Atlanta Falcons are called up to likewise take a look at the sideline. They have not yet brought out the chain. Red Silver sort of spinning around out there for the moment. They want another football, among other things.
It's the same length as the one they just threw out.
I should think so. And now I think they're going to bring out the chain. Measure, and maybe not so much to find out if it's the first time, but to find out how much they need if it's short. They extend the chain. that much, says Fred Silva, holding his hands about a foot apart. And here comes the punting unit on to the displeasure of the fans. They always like to see you go for it on fourth down.
Until you don't make it.
Until you don't make it is right. John James is in to do the punting. 9-year veteran from the University of Florida who averaged 39.1.
Yesterday in the Minnesota-Philadelphia game, Max Runiger lined up in punt formation, threw a pass to John Shira, but Shira was lined up inside the 5-yard marker from the sidelines. Illegal procedure. Philadelphia cost him a key first down early in the first half. Let's see if the Falcons want to risk a play here and maybe go for the fake punt.
Score tied 10-10, 6 minutes left to play in the first half. James Jones standing at his own 10-yard line. Low snap, short hop. James gets it off. Fair catch signal goes up. Jones makes the catch and hits the deck at the 16-yard line. So that is where the Dallas Cowboys start. First and 10 at their own 16. There's a timeout on the field with the score tied. The Dallas Cowboys 10, the Atlanta Falcons 10.
Hello, Rusty Jones.
Hey, how are you?
Goodbye, Rusty Cars.
Hi, I'm Rusty Jones. What? Rusty Jones Rust Proof. You know, I can save your car from rust.
You can?
Sure, because I'm more than just rust proofing. I'm the one option you can buy for your car that actually appreciates in value.
How's that?
I'll stick with your new car, protecting it from rust for as long as you own it. And everybody knows a rust-free car is worth more trade-in time.
You really stick with my car?
Day and night, winter and summer.
No vacation?
Not even a coffee break.
No gimmicks?
Nope, I just want your car to stay rust-free, so you can say,
Hello, Rusty Jones. Goodbye, Rusty Cars. Hello, Rusty Jones. Goodbye, goodbye, Rusty Cars.
Look for new car dealers that offer Rusty Jones Car Saver System. It's a sure sign that they care.
Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson, back with you from Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium here in this big NFC game. The winner goes on to the NFC Championship against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the loser goes to the golf course. Dallas Cowboys, just 22 yards rushing in the first half, have drawn even after a 5-yard scoring strike from Danny White to Billy Joe Dupree, but the Falcons wanted to shut down the running of primarily Tony Dorsett, but also Robert Newhouse, of course, and they have certainly done that here in the first half.
First and 10 with the ball spotted just across the 15-yard line. Here comes Danny White and the Dallas Cowboys up to the line, initially in an I formation. And now they even up the running back, sending Dorsett into the left set, and again back into the I formation. Dorsett on the tail of the tandem. Quick pitch, and he comes to the right side. Cuts back, weaves his way up to the 20-yard line. He picked up 5 on the play. Buddy Curry in to make the tackle. Second down and 5 yards to go at the 20.
Buddy Curry, one of those fine rookie linebackers out of North Carolina, the former Tar Heel, 6'3", 221. Of course, there are 3 linebackers that are rookies on this Atlanta Falcons defense. Buddy Curry and Roland Lawrence, Kenny Johnson, and the second-year man is Joel Williams.
The lights are on here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium as the Cowboys come up 2nd and 5 at the 20. Newhouse is back in there. He and Dorsett are the running backs. Tony Hill is flanked far to the right side. Drew Pearson to the left side. The running backs now well split. Motion across. Newhouse gets the ball. And he gets a couple of yards simply by bouncing around in there before Buddy Curry brings him to a halt at the 22 along with Jeff Yates.
Very quickly, Robert Newhouse turned absolutely nothing into just barely something. Obvious passing situation now for Danny White and the Dallas Cowboys. You say obvious, though, with 4:45, and on these 2 running plays, the Cowboys have gone a little bit conservative. We told you before this drive began, they have amassed just 22 yards on the ground, and now they need 7 yards for a first down.
Ron Springs brought into play 3rd and 3. Drew Pearson to the left side, Hill to the right side. Danny White, the quarterback, back to throw it, and he does throw it. And it's Dorsett dropping it out there at the 26-yard line. Roland Lawrence covering defensively. That'll bring on the punting unit. Tony Dorsett had it ever so briefly, and that was all.
Now the intimidation factor remains from the first quarter when the Falcons, with a flourish, were punishing Dorsett, whether he was running with the ball or trying to get out on a pass pattern. And that time, I think Tony might have been a little guilty of hearing footsteps, like 6 of them.
Danny White drops into deep punt formation. Kenny Johnson goes deep to field it for the Atlanta Falcons, standing at his own 42-yard line. 4 minutes, 25 seconds left in the half. Score tied 10-10. White puts the punt up. Kenny Johnson takes it at the 49-yard line, comes left, and he stopped at the 49-yard line. That is all into the line. And now we're having fisticuffs downfield at about the 30-yard line on the Atlanta Falcons side of the field. Tempest flaring.
Glazebrook and Danny White got into it, and then number 53, Bob Bruning, came over. Glazebrook clipping Danny White, but this will be after the change of possession, so Atlanta will retain the football. They'll just start a little further back.
Dickerson had made the tackle at the 49-yard line. Fred Silva now comes up to step off the yardage against Atlanta, and it's going to be a 15-yarder, which will move the ball back to the 34-yard line. Clipping is indicated against the Atlanta Falcons by Fred Silva, as we haven't been able to hear from him today on his microphone. First and 10 at the 34-yard line. And here come the Falcons. They send Jackson to the right side. Wallace Francis to the left side, and dropping back is Bartkowski. Going long to Jenkins, and he is in a crowd, and
picture-perfect concentration by Alfred Jenkins. He's got the touchdown pass, the 6-year man for Morris Brown. He runs right by Aaron Mitchell, who's got him underneath. Dennis Thurman came over. Actually, Thurman almost had the ball for the interception, and Jenkins took it away.
So the Atlanta Falcons in a game that is tied 10-10 with 3.5 minutes left to play in the first half have the ball first and 10 at the 16-yard line. Running back evened up. Kane to the left side. Andrews to the right side. Bartkowski has the ball. Gives it to Lynn Kane. He tries the right side. Puts his head down and drives just across the 15-yard line. Bob Bruning, middle linebacker, made the tackle again of a couple of yards, and it's going to be second down and 8.
Jenkins checks back in now after getting a breather on that huge pickup. He's got one touchdown catch of over 60 yards from Bartkowski. That put the Falcons out in front by a score of 10-0. And certainly, Lindsey, the Dallas Cowboys, when they go in at halftime, regardless of what the score is, they're going to have to make some kind of defensive adjustment to give some help for Aaron Mitchell, whether it's Wallace Francis or Alfred Jenkins or Alfred Jackson, because Mitchell's having all sorts of problems this afternoon.
Jenkins out of the huddle goes to the right side. The running backs are evened up, and now dropping back. Bartkowski, his pass is complete. Taken by Junior Miller, and he goes out of bounds at about the 2-yard line. Junior Miller, the big tight end, took the pass from Bartkowski. Aaron Mitchell bounced him out, but it is just short of the goal line. It's taken in and spotted inside the 1-yard line.
Simply a down and out. Junior Miller, the rookie tight end from Nebraska, 6'4", 235, but with the speed of a wide receiver, he beats number 59 to the outside, Guy Brown, the 4-year man from Houston, and finally is bumped out of bounds. Miller now 3 receptions, 48 yards, and the Falcons have it first and goal.
James Mayberry comes into the ballgame now, 210-pound running back. He's the up back in the I formation. Bartkowski waiting for the snap. Gets it now, gives it to Kane, and Kane dives in, and a penalty marker goes down. A penalty marker goes down. No indication of touchdown from the officials as Kane hit into the sack on the right side. And now it is a penalty against the Cowboys. Declined touchdown for the Atlanta Falcons. Penalty was against Dallas, declined by the Atlanta Falcons, who take Kane's touchdown, and the Falcons regain the lead.
That's the 9th rushing touchdown of the year for Lynn Kane, number 21 for the Atlanta Falcons, the second-year man from USC, 6'1", 205. He simply bowled it over behind the right side blocking of R.C. Seelman and Warren Bryant, and the Falcons go, well, they go a bunch of yards in just 4 plays. The big one, though, the bomb to Alfred Jenkins again.
It was offside. It was declined, and the conversion by Mazzetti is good, and the Atlanta Falcons are leading in the ballgame now by a score of 17-10. Let's listen to this.
Hi, this is Drew Pearson. You know, a long time before I played football for the Dallas Cowboys, I quarterbacked for my high school team. Being a high school football star was great. It was still tough being a teenager. Deciding whether or not to drink is one of the toughest decisions a teenager has to make. But parents can help their teenagers make the right decisions with a free booklet called Straight Talk About Alcohol. To get a copy, write ECS Box 687 Denver 80201. Help your teenager be a winner for life.
The preceding message has been brought to you by the National Football League. I said a bunch of yards, 66 yards to be exact, in 4 plays. The big bomb to Alfred Jenkins against Aaron Mitchell setting it up. Lynn Kane rushed for his 9th touchdown on the ground this year. And the Falcons, who took a 10-0 lead, only to see the Cowboys come charging back and deadlock things 10-all, have gone in front 17-10 with 2:26 left to go in a wild and wide-open first half.
Ball will be kicked off now by the Atlanta Falcons. We have 2:26 on the clock as we approach the automatic timeout that comes at the 2-minute warning. Dropping back is James Jones, center deep. Steve Wilson on one side, Tim Newsom on the other side for the Dallas Cowboys. Ball is carefully placed on the tee by Mazzetti. He retreats now to await the whistle on Fred Silva, the referee, and there it is. Here comes Mazzetti. In the air, end over end. And it's fielded at the 6-yard line. And return to the 10. Newsom gets across the 20. Penalty marker thrown as he stacks up at the 24-yard line. Kenny Johnson got to him first, along with Earl Jones, but there's a marker to be checked out on the return by Tim Newsom.
And it'll be either holding or clipping against the Dallas Cowboys. It'll back them up a little bit further. The offense knows that they're already walking back in the vicinity of the 5-yard line.
Holding it is against the Dallas Cowboys.
Kind of a costly penalty too, Lindsey, because otherwise you start from your own 24-yard line. You can throw the ball there without risk of too much danger in terms of a turnover. But now you're backed up a lot deeper, the shadow of your own goalpost. And the Cowboys down by 7 certainly don't want to risk an interception right here to the very aggressive secondary and linebacking core of the Atlanta Falcons.
Half the distance, puts the ball back at the 12-yard line. Red Silva indicates it was holding. 2:13 on the clock, which starts again on the snap.
You know, you look for a key play besides the bomb to Alfred Jenkins on the drive. How about the drop pass by Tony Dorsett on 3rd down? Would have been a first down. Cowboys could have kept possession.
They come up there in the I formation now. Newhouse ahead of Tony Dorsett. Now they even up the running back. Lots of motion in the sets of the Dallas Cowboys. Motion across. Danny White giving it off to Newhouse, and he gets up across the 15-yard line, barely across it. Picked up about 3 on the play to make it 2nd down and 7 yards to go. Jeff Merrill coming in to make the tackle. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. There's a pause in the action with the score. Atlanta 17, Dallas 10, and let's take time out.
Tom Landry, the 3rd winningest coach in the NFL ever in his 21st season at the helm of these Dallas Cowboys, has his team trailing by a score of 17-10 right now. And Danny White faced with 2nd down, 6 yards to go at their own 16-yard line. But one thing about Landry, he has never been a coach given toward conservatism. He has thrown the ball from all over the football field. And when he's down, he likes to make the most use of the clock as he possibly can. He used to have Roger Staubach at the controls. Very few better than Roger working the 2-minute clock. And Danny White, great defensive play, kind of a strange offensive call. Of course, it's the high percentage completion. You don't risk the turnover on the interception.
Preston Pearson took the pass, was hit immediately. Again, they go into the shotgun. And here is the pass play. And it's taken just along the sideline by Hill, and he steps out up at the 25, 26-yard line. Kenny Johnson, the defender there.
Thrown on the rope by Danny White for a key Cowboy first down. Now 1:32 left to go in the half. Obviously, Dallas would like to drive it down and get the tying touchdown before the intermission. But at the very least, they would like to get it into Raphael Septien field goal range and go out trailing 17-13 at the half. That was a big first down for the Cowboys because had they not picked that one up, Lindsey, it would have been 4th down punting situation, and the Falcons would have gotten the ball back in good field position and a minute and a half to go.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line for the Dallas Cowboys. Danny White stays in the shotgun. He knows he'll have to put it up, and he does. Throws to Preston Pearson on the right side. He gets up to the 30-yard line, picks up 4 on the play, and Bob Glazebrook came to make the tackle. Gain of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Dallas is ready to go. A no-huddle alignment. Into the shotgun. Danny White. Atlanta leading 17-10. White now has the ball. Look. Goes up the middle. And Jay Saldi can't get it. He's upended into the bargain. Jay Saldi, the big tight end, hit by Tom Pridemore.
White threw that one right on the money. Saldi was spun around. Excellent defensive play by the Falcons that time. White had lots of time. That time Pearson was on a fly pattern down the right side. Drew Pearson, 88, Preston Pearson, tied up the line of scrimmage, maybe bumped beyond the 5-yard marker.
3rd down and 6 yards to go with the ball at the 30-yard line. The clock stopped. 1:01 remaining in the first half. Atlanta leading by a score of 17 to 10. Drew Pearson coming to the right side. Double with Butch Johnson. Shotgun. Danny White waits for the snap. He's got it. Retreating now to take the look. Pumps one time and runs to the right side. And now throws up the sideline, and it's gathered in. Butch Johnson took it, and it's going to be called a catch at the 44-yard line. And that'll be a 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Penalty against Dallas, though, Lindsey. Ineligible receiver downfield. When Danny White scrambled out of the pocket, one of the interior linemen moved downfield to help throw a block, crossed over the line of scrimmage, and will negate the pickup of the 1st down to Butch Johnson.
So Fred Silver again steps off the penalty yardage. That'll put the ball back to the 20-yard line. Ineligible downfield is his indication. As we are unable to hear the transmission by the microphone on the referee here this afternoon.
Well, it's 3rd down and about 19 yards to go. Might not be a bad time to throw the bomb to Drew Pearson streaking down the right side or Tony Hill down the left side. Try to go for all of it, hope for a penalty if you don't get the first.
As they try the draw play. And it is Preston Pearson out to the 30-yard line on the draw. Fulton Kuykendall coming in to make the tackle, and that brings up a 4th down. It brings the punting unit on now for the Dallas Cowboys. 42 seconds remaining to be played in the first half, and the hand you'll hear here is for the defense of the Atlanta Falcons coming off the field.
The crowd coming to life, rising to the occasion for the defense who stopped the Cowboys. Still kind of a quiet crowd, though, for a playoff game.
Kenny Johnson drops back to field it for the Atlanta Falcons. Danny White, of course, does the punting for the Dallas Cowboys. The official standing over the ball indicating that a timeout has been taken here.
Danny White has punted twice so far in this football game, averaging 41 yards per kick. Still, Atlanta will get it back probably around their own 40-yard line, and they'll have 42 ticks on the clock with which to work.
Now we're ready. White waiting for the long snap in deep punt formation. He gets it, puts it up. Johnson calls for the fair catch. As he comes up, but the ball hits the ground. There'll be no return. Bounding around, and it's going to be down at the 34-yard line. So that's where Atlanta gets it 1st and 10 at the Atlanta 34-yard line. 30 seconds remaining to be played in the first half, and the Falcons are leading by a score of 17 to 10.
48-yard punt by Danny White. Not through the Dallas Cowboys. You've been burned badly twice, primarily Aaron Mitchell, by Alfred Jenkins on 2 separate occasions, once for a touchdown, and another time that set up the touchdown by Lynn Kane. I'd try to throw a rope around him right now.
Falcons are convening their huddle as the Dallas Cowboys deploy their defensive alignment. Jenkins and Jackson, the double to the right side. Francis is wide to the left side. The running backs are evened up. Kane left, Andrews right. Bartkowski drops back and looks and throws long up the left sideline. Jackson can't get it. Alfred Big Play Jackson, the man for whom it is intended, up at the 45-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. 24 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 10 at the 34.
Whose territory did they throw that into?
Aaron Mitchell. They again now go back into the huddle. Lights are on here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. They have been on since the start of the ball game. A late afternoon start here, of course, in Atlanta. And the temperature is dropping a little bit, although it's been a reasonably comfortable day here in Atlanta.
Compared to Cleveland, it's very comfortable.
I should think so. Dropping back is Bartkowski. He goes long, and Jenkins has got it up at the 44-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Alfred Jenkins with a leaping catch, 1st and 10. Charlie Waters made the tackle.
Falcons have just 1 timeout left, and they might have used it.
I think they did. I think we have a timeout here. Fred Silver's coming over toward the sideline, and he indicates timeout, Atlanta Falcons. Also has a message for the bench, perhaps to tell them they have spent their last one. 15 seconds on the clock, which starts again on the snap.
Boy, the Falcons' offensive line, though, has done some kind of a job in this first half, holding off the defensive front 4 of the Dallas Cowboys. Bartkowski's been afforded excellent pass protection. You take a look at the stats now for Bartkowski. He is 10 out of 19, 216 yards, 1 touchdown. But the other bomb to Alfred Jenkins set up the running touchdown by Lynn Kane, which put him out in front 17-10, and that's where we are right now. If you're the Cowboys, of course, you're talking to yourself back in the secondary. Somebody's got to come up with some kind of a big play here, or certainly in the second half, because Bartkowski has simply been picking the Cowboy defense apart.
Start of the year, Russ McKeska was the starting tight end for the Atlanta Falcons. After about 3 or 4 games, Junior Miller took over, and that's the only change that the Atlanta Falcons have made in that offensive starting unit throughout the season, which has been one of the secrets of their success. The fact that they've been able to keep that unit intact, keep it on the field, and it has greatly stabilized the offense of the Atlanta Falcons.
So you talk about Junior Miller. He had a 100-yard game this year in a game that he did not start. That was against the New England Patriots. Francis wound up with 117 yards and 2 touchdowns against New England. That was back on September the 14th, the second week of the season. Then it was probably after that performance that Lehman Bennett said, whoa, we got a Cornhusker out there wants to play.
First down and 10 yards to go. The Atlanta Falcons come up with a lone setback. 3 receivers to the left side. Sort of a version of Big Ben where you put it up and let a lot of people run under it. Dropping back now is Bartkowski. He looks and he throws, and it is intercepted for the Dallas Cowboys at the 29-yard line. Picked off there by Steve Wilson, who made a diving catch. Clock says 7 seconds remaining in the half, and the Dallas Cowboys get it 1st and 10. It's at their own 29-yard line.
Steve Wilson, number 45, the second-year man from Howard, stepped in front of that Bartkowski pass and picked off his 5th INT on the season. And that may be the big play the Cowboys needed, because it certainly will keep the Falcons off the scoreboard any further. And let's see how Tom Landry likes to play it with 7 seconds left. Whether he'll just run out the clock or whether he'll put it up. Why not put it up?
Clock starts on the snap. Atlanta is leading by a score of 17-10 here very late in the first half. And White simply takes it and hits the deck. They decide to let the clock run out, making no effort to advance the ball. 2 seconds, 1 second, and time has run out. There's the gun sounding the end of the first half with the score: Atlanta Falcons 17, Dallas Cowboys 10. Kicking off. James Jones takes it to the 5. He dribbles it one time, picks it up, circles back, gets across the 10, and out near the 15-yard line. So now the Dallas Cowboys will start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
How are Tony Dorsett and Robert Newhouse doing on the ground, you ask? Well, the Falcons wanted to shut down Tony Dorsett. They pretty well have. He's carried the ball 5 times for 15 yards. Cowboys totally on the ground, 45 yards on the ground, 83 yards passing.
The Atlanta Falcons leading by a score of 17-10 as we start the second half here. Danny White brings the Dallas Cowboys up. Running backs are evened up. Newhouse and now it is Dorsett on the tail of the tandem, taking the pitch, coming to the right side. Across the 15, across the 20. Gets it out to the 23-yard line before you stop by Ronald Morris.
Dorsett's longest gain in the first half was for 8 yards. That was on 1 carry, so 4 other carries garnered him just 7 yards. He has just added 8 more. He's carried now 6 times for 23 yards. Falcons keying on Dorsett on the ground, hoping they can force Danny White to put it up, make some mistakes for their secondary and their young linebacking core to operate, pick it off, and set up the offense in good field position.
Second down and 1 yard to go in advance of the 23-yard line. The Cowboys now move out of their huddle, sending Dorsett to a wide right. Newhouse, the lone setback behind Danny White. Cowboys trailing by 7 points in the ball game. Newhouse gets it, and he gets the 1 yard. He picks it up out to the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. It was Al Richardson on the tackle. Richardson accounted for 10 turnovers this year, 7 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries, the most by any defensive player in the National Football Conference. Cowboys with the ball 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Go ahead. Of course, what the Cowboys would like to do is use up some time on the clock with a long, sustained scoring drive, keep the ball away from Bartkowski and his fine wide receivers for the Atlanta Falcons.
Ron Springs is in there to set back now. Danny White takes the hand out to Springs, throws a screen pass to Springs. He comes to the right side and gets just across the 30-yard line. It'll be about the 32 as it's spotted. And it was Al Richardson again on the tackle along with Mike Zealy.
Lindsey, that's the 4th time the Cowboys have utilized the screen in this football game. Each time it's gone for a short gain. In fact, one time the Falcons were there to plug it up and actually throw Newhouse for a loss on the screen. That time they ran it over to the right side to Ron Springs, and he picked up short yardage, brings up 2nd down and 6.
At the 32-yard line. Defense is the shot from the fans of the Atlanta Falcons. Dorsett moves into the left set. Now he's back into the tailback of the I formation. Danny White is throwing to the left side, and it's complete. Taken across the 45-yard line out to about the 47-yard line, as it was gathered in there by Drew Pearson, and he was stopped by Kenny Johnson.
Kenny Johnson, number 37, the rookie. One of several rookies in this young Atlanta defensive unit. 3 rookie linebackers. He's the rookie cornerback from Mississippi State, 5'10", 176. Mismatch, obviously, credit the old pro, the very crafty veteran, number 88, Drew Pearson, who's been around for a while, the 8-year man from Tulsa. When I did the Atlanta Falcons against the Buffalo Bills on CBS television, Joe Ferguson had all kinds of success working against Kenny Johnson, particularly Jerry Butler, who we saw yesterday. You might expect maybe in the second half Drew Pearson to go one-on-one against Johnson a little bit.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line, and here it is with Dupree carrying on the tight end around, and he gets up across the 50-yard line, stopped just as he gets across by Joel Williams, along with Kenny Johnson.
Kind of a mismatch that time, but Johnson was equal to it. However, Dupree might have won the war if he indeed lost the battle. Johnson is down over on the sideline, or check it. That's number 58, Joel Williams, the second-year linebacker from Wisconsin Lacrosse. And he is in agony, holding on to his...
At the 46-yard line, and here it is with Dupree carrying on the tight end around, and he gets up across the 50-yard line, stopped just as he gets across by Joel Williams, along with Kenny Johnson.
Kind of a mismatch that time, but Johnson was equal to it. However, Dupree might have won the war if he indeed lost the battle. Johnson is down over on the sideline, or check it. That's number 58, Joel Williams, the second-year linebacker from Wisconsin Lacrosse. And he is in agony, holding on to his left elbow.
Members of the training staff come out to work with him. And with the score, Atlanta 17, Dallas 10, let's take time out.
Has come off ever so slowly, but under his own power. Number 59, Robert Pennywell, into the lineup now. The 5-year man from Grambling, 6'1", 222. As the Cowboys are taking the opening kickoff here in the second half, down by 7. They've got it 2nd and 5 at their own, or at the Atlanta 49-yard line, just barely across midfield.
The Dallas Cowboys waiting to reconvene their huddle as soon as the officials have indicated to them that the timeout which was taken has expired. The Atlanta Falcons also similarly waiting, and now the ball is marked ready for play by referee Fred Silva. Danny White has quarterbacked the Dallas Cowboys throughout the ball game. We have 11 minutes, 33 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Drew Pearson in a wide right. Ron Springs is in there to set back. Danny White waiting now as he gets motion across from Chase Saldy. Quick pitch to Ron Springs. Springs looks, throws left-handed down the sideline, and it is incomplete. Intended for Tony Hill down about the 20-yard line. Deflected by Tom Pridemore. Incomplete.
Tony Hill was out there free at about the 22-yard line. Great play by Pridemore to come over and help out on the coverage. Tony Hill was out there, as we said. Springs kind of hung it up there and threw an air ball. He's a right-handed, well, check it, he's a left-handed thrower, and he was rolling out to the left side, was hit just as he released the ball, hung up there for what must have seemed like half the football game to Tony Hill, who tried to keep both feet in bounds, and Pridemore belted him before he got possession. Good defensive play for the Atlanta Falcons.
Preston Pearson comes into the ball game now. Tony Hill comes to a wide right. Third down, 5 yards to go at the 49. Into the shotgun now. Danny White waiting for the direct snap. He's 7 yards deep. Gets the ball, retreats. Danny White being chased out of the pocket and throws it complete behind the line of scrimmage, but being advanced now. And Preston Pearson is across the 30, 25, 20, 15. And now ball is fumbled. The scramble is on. Picked up by the Falcons, and the Falcons are re-advancing it back up to the 10 to the 15-yard line. Kenny Johnson recovered. Preston Pearson's fumble. Now ball players gathering around. Officials gathering around. Falcons have the ball first and 10 at their own 15-yard line. Oh, boy.
Just about everything imaginable happened on that play. The straight drop by Danny White. He wanted to get the ball to number 33, Tony Dorsett. Instead, the checkoff pass to the safety man. Preston Pearson out of the backfield. Got it down inside the 20, inside the 15. Then he was hit, stripped of the ball, fumbled it, and the Atlanta Falcons came up with a big turnover at the 10-yard line. That's number 27, Tom Pridemore, his second big defensive play in a row. And then on top of that, a personal foul penalty against the Dallas Cowboys. So instead of first and 10 from the 15, it's all the way out at the 30 of Atlanta.
All sorts of action taking place, and the Atlanta Falcons get the ball first and 10. There's a timeout on the field with the score. Atlanta 17, Dallas 10.
The Dallas Cowboys took the opening kickoff in the second half, and they used almost 4.5 minutes on the clock. They came away with a turnover. Preston Pearson stripped of the ball from behind. Tom Pridemore picked it up at his 10, ran it back a couple of yards. Everybody started belting everybody else. One penalty flag later, Atlanta operates first and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
Back at their huddle now, ready to come out of the huddle and up the line as soon as once again Tom Silva has indicated that the timeout has expired, and he's made that indication just now. Dallas deploys their defense, and here comes Borchowski up for the Atlanta Falcons. A lone setback. That is Andrews. Borchowski, wide receivers left and right. Short drop. Flips it out to the left. Taken out there by Jenkins. Alfred Jenkins breaks it back at 40. 45, 50, and across into Dallas territory at the 48-yard line. First and 10. Bob Brunig made the stop. Pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
WBBM Chicago Sports Radio 78.
That time, Alfred Jenkins caught the ball again in front of Aaron Mitchell. He ran out of his grasp, ran right away from D.D. Lewis. Big first down 2 plays later. What a quick reversal.
First and 10 for the Atlanta Falcons in Dallas territory. And a wing left with a lone setback. They try the draw play. Big opener. For about 10 yards to the 38-yard line. It is Bob Brunig again in there to make the tackle as William Andrews, who rushed for 1,308 yards during the regular season, moved it up just short of a first down.
Huge block by Jeff Van Oak thrown on D.D. Lewis. That opened it up. And the Atlanta Falcons, after that turnover, have gone about 50 yards. Well, taking about 40 yards now in just 2 plays.
Second down and a yard to go. They're up there in an I formation. Andrews ahead of Lynn. Kane is the tailback. Contact made at the line of scrimmage. Fiddly marker thrown. Kane struggles for the yard, but there is a marker to be checked out. Brunig made the stop.
Dallas jumped offsides. Now the question is, were they drawn offsides? They were not, says Fred Silva, the referee.
That's the first down. And the crowd becomes aware of that as Silva prepares to mark off the 5-yard penalty against the Dallas Cowboys. And he does. He indicates
defense, number 54. Offside, first down.
Randy White was the offender, and it's at the 34-yard line, first and 10. Atlanta and Dallas territory. 9 minutes, 22 seconds left in the third quarter. Atlanta leading Dallas 17-10. Running backs are even up. Kane to the left side, Andrews to the right side. Wide receivers left and right. Borchowski dropping back. Goes up the middle, and it's complete. Taken there by Andrews inside the 30-yard line, and Andrews is stopped at the 27. They picked up 7 yards on the play to make it second down and 3 yards to go.
Real smart play by Steve Bartkowski that time. All 3 of his wide receivers were covered, dumped it off to the back, working one-on-one of the linebacker. William Andrews picked up almost 8 yards on the play, second down and short now. And just 4 plays and a penalty later, the Falcons, who defense would have been backed up at their own 15, have it all the way down at the 27-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys.
They're sending Kane to a wide right. Andrews, the lone setback as they string him out. Bartkowski waiting for the snap. And again, it is taken by Andrews. He tries the left side. Gets inside the 20-yard line. Still going down to the 16, maybe the 15. Aaron Mitchell finally made the tackle along with Steve Wilson. It's another first down for the Atlanta Falcons at the 15-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys.
You can simply feel the electricity in the air here at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. The offensive surge of the Atlanta Lion right now sticking it to the Dallas, what once was a doomsday defense. That time, William Andrews simply ran out of the grasp of Harvey Martin, ran away from Randy White, and picked up another Falcon first down.
Now they come out in the I formation. Kane, the tailback. Andrews, the up back. Wide receivers left and right for Bartkowski, who has the ball. Gives it to Kane, tries the right side. Kane gets about 3 yards down to the 12-yard line before he's stacked up there. It is Bob Bruning again on the stop, along with Dennis Sturman. It'll be second down and 7 yards to go at the 12.
Alfred Jenkins checks in with a play, the veteran wide receiver from Morris Brown. And, of course, imperative now for the Dallas defense to kind of assert themselves. The Falcon defense did that about 3 minutes ago. They came up with a key turnover and kept the Cowboys off the scoreboard. Dallas would like to return the favor right now.
Running back to split. Kane on the left set. Andrews in the right set. Motion back from an outside right. Bartkowski retreats, sets up, throws, and it is complete. And it is taken in there for a touchdown. Touchdown in the end zone. Andrews took it right at the 1-yard line and across the goal line. Bartkowski hit him on the numbers. Touchdown for the Atlanta Falcons. These fans up and cheering in Atlanta Fulton County Stadium as they have seen their Falcons drive downfield. Bartkowski hit William Andrews. They have a conversion attempt coming. Atlanta leading now by a score of 23-10. 7 minutes, 10 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter. Mazzetti is in to attempt the conversion. John James is holding for him. James on one knee, puts the ball down. Mazzetti boots it, and it is there. So, there's a timeout on the field with the score, Atlanta 24, Dallas 10.
Good painting results begin with good materials, like the quality paints and accessories you'll find at True Value hardware stores. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you they offer the Easy Painter 7-piece painting set, now just $5.78. It comes complete with 9-inch roller frame and cover for use with most paints, an extension pole for getting at hard-to-reach areas, plus a 1.5-inch trim brush for painting around doors and woodwork and more. And True Value hardware stores offer a wide selection of tools like putty knives and wallpaper strippers to help you properly prepare the surfaces to be painted. And paint and varnish removers that remove latex, varnishes, and more. For professional-looking results, get quality painting tools and accessories like the Easy Painter 7-piece painting set for $5.78 from participating True Value hardware stores.
True Value Hardware, it's more than just a name. It's our way of doing business. That means True Value.
After Preston Pearson of the Dallas Cowboys stripped of the ball inside the 15-yard line, Atlanta's Tom Pridemore picked it up, returned it, a 15-yard roughing penalty tacked on. They started 1st and 10, Atlanta did, from their own 30-yard line. They went 70 yards in just 6 plays. Bartkowski, his 33rd touchdown pass of the season. William Andrews, his second scoring strike reception. 24-10. The Cowboys are down by 14 points.
Jim Mazzetti has teed the ball up at the 35-yard line for the Cowboys now. James Jones is center deep. Steve Wilson and Timmy Newsom have flanked them on either side. There is the whistle, and here comes Jim Mazzetti. Sails it downfield, and it's Newsom at the 5-yard line. Newsom at the 10, at the 15, gets Garfield to the 20, 25, and gets up near the 30-yard line before he is stopped. It is Kenny Johnson downfield leading the defensive charge, and the Dallas Cowboys start in their own territory, 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Well, just like the Cowboys were driving, and it looked like they were going to get back into the football game, maybe tied it up 17 all. What a dramatic swing. In fact, a 14-point swing in favor of the Falcons, who have 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter and 15 minutes in regulation of the fourth quarter. Atlanta is 22 minutes away from the NFC Championship game to be played right here if Atlanta wins it against Philadelphia's Eagles.
Danny White waiting for the snap as his running back split. Yes. It is batted back as he tried to pass out to the left side on the screen. It is batted back almost into his face by Don Smith, a big lineman. He got in there and got a big hand up. He faked the handoff to Dorsett, was going to try a screen left and never got it off.
Cowboys, for some reason, Lindsey, in this game are not going with the misdirection plays, the quick down and out sideline patterns that Drew Pearson, Tony Hill run so effectively. They're going with a pattern much the same, by the way, that Buffalo did yesterday in that loss to the San Diego Chargers. Patterns that take too much time to develop. You would think that Dallas would come with a sideline, work the clock a little bit, because it's certainly in the favor of the Falcons now with Atlanta having a 14-point lead.
Second and 10 at the 29. Dorsett's the lone setback. Saldy's in there in motion now from a wing right all the way across to the left side. Danny White drops back. And they get to him. He's dropped. Danny White is dropped and Scramble is on for the football. However, the Dallas Cowboys retain possession. They keep the football as it got away from Danny White. And it was Jim Cooper on the ball. So it is back at the 19-yard line.
Again, the pass pattern that took too much time to develop. Tony Hill streaking down the left side. That's the man that Danny White wanted to throw it to. White simply lost the handle on the football. Indeed, there was pressure being put on by Atlanta, but he went back to cock it and simply dropped it.
It is third down now. 20 yards to go with the ball back at the 19-yard line. They go into the shotgun with Danny White. Back there to take the direction out from center. White's got it. Back to the 6-yard line. Throws out to screen left. Taken out there. And advanced up across the 20-25 and through the 27-yard line. On a screen pass to the left side. However, it's not nearly enough for the first down. It is a hand for the defense of the Atlanta Falcons. Bradmore made the last stop. On with Jeff Gates. And Danny White drops back in the defense formation.
Again, the high percentage pass. Don't risk the turnover when momentum is swung the way of your arch enemy right now. 24-10, Falcons are up by 14 points.
Kenny Johnson standing at his own 41-yard line. Danny White gets the snap, puts it up. Johnson moves over. And just as the ball gets there, he is hit. Ball is swirling around, and the Falcons scramble for it and retain possession back about the 23-yard line. It was Anthony Dickerson who got there at just about the time the ball did.
Well, you've got to give the receiver the opportunity to catch the ball, and he did not. No fair catch was signaled, but you still must give him yardage to catch that football, and the Falcons did not get that yardage, so this will be another key penalty that will go against the Dallas Cowboys. When we come back, it'll be 1st and 10, Atlanta from the 49-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Fred Silva, the referee.
51, Dallas, fair catch interference. First down.
That's Anthony Dickerson, the free agent from SMU. There's a timeout on the field. 5:15 to go in the third quarter with the score. Atlanta 24, Dallas 10. Steve Bartkowski, 13 of 23 passing, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns on the afternoon for the Atlanta Falcons. He's been perfect in the second half, 3 out of 3 for a total of 42 yards. I would think, Lindsey, it's imperative for the Cowboys defense now to certainly halt Atlanta. You can't even afford even a field goal at this point, because that would be a 17-point advantage. And the way this young Falcons defense has been playing, that might be too much for Dallas to overcome with time winding down in the third quarter.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line of the Cowboys. This is Andrews coming to the left side. He's closed off by the defense. Not a chance as Harvey Martin, big number 79, was there. And it is dropped back at the 47-yard line for a loss of 4 on the play to make it 2nd and 14.
I would think it would be a matter of Dallas Cowboy pride right now, because not only has the Dallas offense been strangely silent in terms of putting points on the board, you've got to credit the Atlanta defense with part of that. But Dallas, to be honest, has hurt themselves with some costly mistakes offensively. But the Dallas defense has been pushed around, particularly the secondary. And I would think some old pros like Too Tall Jones, Harvey Martin, Randy White would want to assert themselves and get their teammates fired up here and try to come up with some kind of a turnover.
2nd down and 14. Running backs are evened up for Steve Bartkowski. Drops back now to look. Penalty marker's thrown. He's dropped. Marker was thrown before the defenders got to Bartkowski, who was dropped on the seat of his pants. Head Too Tall Jones got there first. Holding is indicated. It's against Atlanta.
And certainly with that big loss, the Dallas Cowboys would decline the penalty and take the sack on Steve Bartkowski instead. You can almost see the difference. You can see that the Dallas defense feels they've got to do something, Lindsey, the way they're firing off the ball now. Harvey Martin was in there very quickly along with Too Tall Jones on that last play. And I think Dallas knows they've got to certainly shut down the Falcons.
Offense, number 66. Holding. Refused. Third down.
Warren Bryant was the culprit. The penalty declined. The ball is back at the 35-yard line.
Oh, we didn't hear Fred Silva at all. I think he put a new battery in because there's no problem now. That came in loud and clear.
Didn't it so? Third down and 26. This is Lynn Kane trying the right side, and he gets up to the 40-yard line, across the 40 into the 43, before Bob Brunig brings him down, and the punting unit comes on now for the Atlanta Falcons. Led out by John James. And James Jones comes in, drops back deep to field it for the Dallas Cowboys, standing at his own 20-yard line. James from the University of Florida. Chuck Coriel in there to make the snap in deep punt formation. James gets it, puts it up. James Jones at his 20-yard line, can't get control, drops the ball, dives for it at the 15. Jones apparently keeps the ball at the 15-yard line as he bobbled it once again, and it's first and 10 for the Cowboys deep in their own territory. Have the ball at their own 15-yard line. Danny White waiting to take the snap. Here's a quick pitch coming to the right side. Ron Springs, and he is stopped at the 19-yard line. Picked up 4 on the play, and Jeff Yates is in to make the tackle. Fulton Kuykendall assisting him. Second down and 6 yards to go.
Kind of a strange play call now. Clock winding down. It'll be inside 2 and 2 minutes 40 seconds probably when this play is snapped. And you're down by 14 points against the team you've only scored 10 points on over the first 39 minutes of football.
Dropping back Danny White. Still looking, decides he'll run it now, throws on the run, and it is taken by the Cowboys up near the 30-yard line.
Tony Hill.
Tony Hill into the crowd there, and it's taken to the inbounds marker, and it's going to be spotted right at the 30-yard line. That makes it a first and 10.
Big play by Danny White in all kinds of trouble back there in the Cowboy Be Careful country. Danny White started to look downfield, was looking for Drew Pearson, number 88, streaking down the left side, started to run the ball, saw he was going to be grabbed by Al Richardson, the linebacker, and coming back toward the quarterback, which is what the veteran receivers have to do, Tony Hill.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line for the Dallas Cowboys. Newhouse goes to the right set. Tightens up now with Tony Dorsett, who's the other running back. Drew Pearson in motion back all the way across. And this is Dorsett. He finds some running room across the 35 and out to the 39-yard line. Dorsett is thrown back. It's going to be marked very near the 40. Tom Pridemore on the stop along with Bob Blazemore.
You think these Atlanta Falcons don't want this football game. There are 11 defenders out there on the field, and there were 10 of them in there on that tackle. Dorsett would not go down, fighting for every inch. But you talk about pursuit and gang tackling. The Atlanta Falcons were right there and stuck it to Tony Dorsett, who's about a yard shy of the first down strike.
Just short of the 40-yard line. Billy Joe Dupree comes back in at tight end. Jay Salty goes off the field. Tony Hill coming to the right side. Drew Pearson to the left. Newhouse ahead of Dorsett. And it's taken by Newhouse. He's got the first and 10. And it's taken by Newhouse. He's got the first and 10. Still going to the 50-yard line and on down to the 45. And on down to the 43-yard line. Pridemore and Kenny Johnson wrapped him up there. It'll be a first and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Suddenly on this drive now, the Dallas offensive line starting to assert themselves. Great block thrown by the left tackle that time on Richardson. That's Herb Scott, Pat Donovan over on the left side, the guard and tackle respectively, to open up that hole for Newhouse, who got the last 6 all on his own.
Ron Springs comes into the backfield now for the Dallas Cowboys. Defense is the chant from the Atlanta Falcon fans. We have 44 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Drew Pearson on the wide right. Dorsett's in the left set, Springs in the right set. Pearson in motion back toward the inside. Now White's throwing. And it is complete to Springs. He is out to the 35, along the sideline 30, down to the 25, and he goes out of bounds. It's going to be marked about the 21-yard line. Ron Springs down the right sideline.
Coming back to throw the key block was number 88, Drew Pearson. He threw it on Buddy Curry, who never saw it coming. The rookie from North Carolina got stuck pretty good. And the Cowboys are on the march right now. First down inside the 17-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously have to come away with some points on this drive, which is ending now because that's the end of the third quarter. With the score, the Atlanta Falcons 24, the Dallas Cowboys 10. That's the end of the third quarter. The score, Falcons 24, Cowboys 10. They've got it.
1 quarter to play here. And the Cowboys are back there in their huddle with Danny White down on one knee, calling the next play. Red Silver still standing near the ball, indicating that the timeout period has not yet expired, and now he is notifying each team that it has. He's going to mark the ball ready for play. 30-second clock has started. The Atlanta Falcons deploy their defense. And the fans become alive here now as Drew Pearson goes to the right side. Running backs in an I formation. It Springs now in the right set. Dorsett moves over into the left set. Danny White throwing to the left side, and it's complete to Tony Hill down near the 6-yard line. He is pulled back there by Kenny Johnson. So they'll take the ball to the inbounds marker and spot it there, and we'll find exactly what the spot of it is.
That's the matchup we said to watch. The matchup, one of them, we expected to see a great deal of here in this football game. Kenny Johnson, the rookie from Mississippi State, can be victimized, especially when you've got two wide receivers like Tony Hill and like Drew Pearson. Now number 87, Jay Salty, the tight end, checks in. Fifth-year man from South Carolina. The play call from Tom Landry. Billy Joe Dupre, who has a touchdown toss from Danny White, will check out.
First down and goal to go at the 6-yard line. Springs in the left set. Dorsett in the right set for the Dallas Cowboys. Trying to take it in from the 6-yard line here in the fourth quarter. Motion across from Drew Pearson all the way across. Dorsett tries the left side. Accelerates. Puts his head down, drives. He goes out of bounds short of the goal line. On across, and now, again, they will spot it, and it's going to be very close to the goal line. As he accelerated as he came off the left side there, and Don Smith was the man who made the hit. It's going to be second down and goal to go at the 1-yard line.
Dorsett actually lost the football as he put his helmet down, and it went scooting into the end zone and out of bounds. But, of course, last possession goes to the Cowboys. So they've got it second down and goal to go. Clock is stopped at 13:59. So if Dallas can punch it in here, they'll be down by 7 with most of the fourth quarter to play.
Newhouse is in there now along with Dorsett. They're at the 1-yard line. And now Danny White wants to move Dorsett over to the right side of Newhouse. Giving it off to Newhouse, and he goes in for the touchdown for the Dallas Cowboys. So they took it in with 13:50 remaining to be played. In this football game, the Cowboys have scored, and they have a conversion attempt coming.
Robert Newhouse, his 7th touchdown on the ground for the Dallas Cowboys. And obviously, Danny White knew exactly where he wanted Tony Dorsett, who was lined up incorrectly, moved him over to the right side to be the lead blocker for Robert Newhouse. And Dorsett threw the block. Newhouse went in to score, and Septien can make it a 7-point Dallas deficit right now.
Septien is poised. Charlie Waters will hold. The clock kept running after he crossed that goal line, so they're having a conference now about what to do about getting the clock reset. The clock kept right on going for 3 or 4 or 5 seconds, however much, before they got it stopped, and so that is the subject of an officials' conference as the referee, Fred Silver, talks it over with one of his colleagues.
Absolutely no truth to the rumor that Eddie LeBaron is running the clock.
Eddie LeBaron, the general manager of the Atlanta Falcons. Now Silver indicates the ball is marked ready for play for the conversion attempt. The point is good. They'll assess it on the kickoff with the score. Atlanta 24, Dallas 17. Let's take time out.
This is Larry Zonka. When you've played football as long as I have, you really appreciate a tough line. That's why I think you'll appreciate what Whirlpool's line of tough gas furnaces can do for your heating bills. Beginning with a tight-fist gas furnace and moving right down the line, these Whirlpool furnaces have the toughness to meet high heating bills head-on and help you save money all season. Believe me, if Whirlpool didn't have the toughest line around, I wouldn't stand behind it. So get a Whirlpool gas furnace. Check the yellow pages for your nearest Whirlpool dealer.
Standard 4.1-liter V6. Available 3.8-liter turbocharged V6, 5.0-liter V8, or 5.7-liter diesel V8. Front-wheel drive.
The 1981 Buick Riviera. It offers engine choices and engineering features that would do justice to several cars, much less one. And Riviera's list of comforts and conveniences is, we submit, practically endless. The incredible 1981 Buick Riviera. The kitchen sink not available.
Cruise Master speed control.
Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson back in Atlanta, where the home Falcons are now clinging to a 7-point lead over the Dallas Cowboys. 13:47 left in regulation, and we emphasize regulation because we will have a winner here, regardless of how many overtime periods we must have should the Cowboys tie it up, because the winner of this game goes on to the NFC Championship to meet the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, if Dallas wins, Philadelphia would be the home city by virtue of winning the NFC East and Dallas being the wild card. If Atlanta wins, the Falcons host the NFC Championship game because they beat the Eagles head-to-head during the regular season.
Rafael Septien will kick out. The ball is spotted on the 50-yard line with the 15-yard penalty assessed. Mike Smith is deep. Ball is booted way back over the end line. No run back, no nothing. It's first and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Never understand that when you're kicking off from midfield. Why not a squib kick somewhere down inside the 5 or the 10-yard line? Because your defense has already got a 15-yard head start from whence you normally kick the ball, and you try to back the team up.
And give them a chance to make a mistake.
That's right.
However, the Atlanta Falcons now leading 24-17. They have it first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 13 minutes, 47 seconds on the clock. Falcons up there now. Bartkowski waiting for the snap. Just a high count, gives it to Andrews, and Andrews simply struggles his way up and gets to the 24-yard line. It'll be second on 6 yards to go at the 24.
William Andrews now has carried 11 times for 36 yards. His running mate Lynn Kane, 11 times for 43 yards. So they run the 1-2 running tandem just about even, and running and passing plays in the first half were just about equal also. Falcons, of course, do not want the fumble. They don't want the pass interception right here. What they do want is a nice, long, time-consuming drive that comes away with a field goal, at least.
Cowboys, on the other hand, want the football. They deploy their defense, and now Bartkowski going to a higher count. Takes a snap, drops back. Sets up to throw it, and throws to the left side. And it is a diving catch, and it's good up across the 40-yard line. Gathered in by Wallace Francis.
And he turned it around right in front of number 34, Aaron Mitchell. The Dallas Cowboys are not going to win this football game unless they can get some help to number 34, who's been victimized all afternoon. Bartkowski, the straight drop, lots of pass protection, waited for Francis to make his cut toward the sideline on the left side, fired the ball on a rope. Wallace Francis made the move, and again, Aaron Mitchell was a good couple of yards off the play. Good comeback move by Wallace Francis. Big first down for Atlanta. They maintained possession.
At their own 42-yard line, Dennis Thurman finally made the stop. Atlanta up there with a lone setback, and that's Andrews. Bartkowski waits for the snap. They're in a slot left, wide receivers left and right. They give it to Andrews, and he tries to go over his own left guard, struggles his way up to the 45-yard line before D.D. Lewis comes in to make the tackle along with Randy White. It'll be second and 7, just short of the 45-yard line for the Atlanta Falcons with the clock running. Showing now exactly 12 minutes left to play in this game.
Of course, while Aaron Mitchell is having his problems, the front 4 of the Dallas Cowboys could be doing a much better job, too. Harvey Martin, Randy White, Larry Cole, Ed Too Tall Jones in putting some pressure on Bartkowski. They've got 1 sack in the course of the afternoon. If you don't put any pressure on the passer, then the receivers have a lot of time to work the secondary men over.
Alfred Jenkins far to the right side. Bartkowski throws left, and it is incomplete. Just throwing it out into the flat to his tight end, Junior Miller. Could not handle it. It's 3rd and 7 at the 45-yard line.
Now's the time, 3rd down and 7, that the Dallas Cowboys should blitz on Steve Bartkowski. Either send a linebacker or a safety man, or maybe even both, and hope that the offensive line do not pick up the blitz and that Bartkowski is forced to throw some kind of an interception or at least an incompletion and force the punting team.
Tight end Junior Miller comes off the field. Big play Alfred Jackson comes onto the field. Lone setback. That's Kane. 3rd and 7 for the Atlanta Falcons. Bartkowski has the ball, dropping back and looking. And it is batted back as he was trying to hit Jenkins on a crossing pattern, Hit too tall Jones, 6 feet 9 inches tall. Got up there to deflect the passing attempt, and the punting unit comes on. The Atlanta Falcons have to give up the ball.
It's exactly what the Cowboys wanted to do, force Podkowski into rushing his pass. And now Dallas will get it back. Plenty of time with which to work. 11:31 if they field this punt cleanly. Jones had trouble on the preceding punt.
John James is waiting for the snap. James Jones standing at his own 20-yard line. James gets it off. Jones calls for a fair catch and takes it at the 24. So the Cowboys will start 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Tony Dorsett, 39 yards on the ground in 8 carries. Robert Newhouse, 29 yards on the ground in 6 carries. So you can see that the Falcons defense has done what they came into this football game to try to do. Contain Dorsett, who had 160 yards against the Los Angeles Rams in last week's wild card battle. Atlanta feeling if they could contain Dorsett, they could keep the Dallas Cowboys pretty much off the scoreboard. Well, they are down by 7, Dallas is, and they have the football.
They have it at their own 24-yard line as Danny White brings them up there. Dorsett deploying into the tailback position. Takes a quick pitch, goes to the right side. Finds a little opening and drops the ball as he got up to the 30-yard line. But Dallas retains possession at the 30-yard line.
Some anxious moments right there, not only on the Cowboy bench in the person of one Tom Landry, but also over there Lehman Bennett and his coaching staff, the Atlanta Falcons. Dorsett just shaking his head as he walks slowly, ever so slowly, back to that Dallas Cowboy huddle. That's the 4th time in this football game, Lindsey, they have run that exact same play on 1st down. You think on 1st down maybe White would throw the ball, try to loosen up the linebackers a little bit, which are playing run on 1st down exclusively.
2nd down and 4 yards to go with the ball at the 30-yard line. Dorsett in the right set. Newhouse tightens up with him there now. Wide receivers left and right. Drew Pearson from the left side in motion all the way across. This again is Dorsett coming to the left side. Takes a wrinkle and feeds out of bounds for a 1st down. Went out of bounds as he crossed the 35-yard line. Tom Pridemore running him out over there. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys. And there's an injury on the play. A Cowboy is down, and that is Robert Shaw. Robert Shaw, who started at center today, being assisted to his feet by members of the Dallas training staff.
Robert Shaw, the second-year man from Tennessee. And Lindsey, in talking with the Dallas coaches late last night.
Yeah, very late
last night. You get the feeling that they felt the big reason the Cowboys were able to amass over 500 yards offense against the Los Angeles Rams, the play of Robert Shaw. Certainly the offensive line asserted themselves against Los Angeles at Texas Stadium last week, but it was the play of Robert Shaw which allowed Dorsett to have such a big game and also helped out in the pass blocking for Danny White, who had 3 touchdown passes as well.
Shaw is being assisted off the field. Although moving under his own power as he heads to the sideline. When play is resumed, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys. They have the ball at their own 36-yard line. We have 10.5 minutes remaining to be played in this game. This was an official's timeout, says referee Silva.
Danny White, 17 of 27, 199 yards, and they've gone on the ground on this drive.
Here come the Cowboys. Danny White bending in to take the snap. Dropping back. Sets it up and goes long, and it is incomplete and deflected, intercepted. Back at the 40-yard line, return to the 45, 50, 45, 40, 37-yard line. Tom Pridemore, number 27, took the deflected pass, and now the Atlanta Falcons have it 1st and 10. It'll be the 38-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys.
That's the 3rd interception of this football season by Tom Pridemore, the 2nd big play by Pridemore in this football game. The first one when he picked up the ball stripped by Preston Pearson. Certainly a catchable ball in and out of the hands of Butch Johnson, deflected into the waiting arm of Tommy Pridemore. And the Falcons now inside the 40 of the Dallas Cowboys.
Falcons leading by a score 24-17. Here's a handoff. Andrews goes to the left side. Dives up to the 35-yard line. Just that last effort got the 3 yards, so it's going to be 2nd down and 7. Harvey Martin, along with D.D. Lewis, in on the tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. Atlanta leading 24-17. 7-point advantage, 9:59 left on the clock, and another injury. So we have an injury delay here. It is Bob Brunig of the Dallas Cowboys this time who's getting attention from the training staff.
And while 12, they attend to Bob Brunick down at the 35-yard line. The importance of this Atlanta Falcon drive is certainly obvious. Atlanta leads 24-17, and we've got 9:59 to go. We'll talk about that.
Andrews and Kane are the setback. Kane's moved over to a wing left now. Andrews, the lone setback, a short drop. Bartkowski looks, chased out of the pocket, and he's going to keep the ball and eat it. Back at the 23-yard line. He was being chased by John Dutton as he held on to the football. It'll be a loss of 4 on the play to make it second down and 14 yards to go at the 23. Atlanta in Dallas territory.
John Dutton, 7-year man from Nebraska, lining up almost opposite another Nebraska Cornhusker, Junior Miller on that play. Dutton checks out. Second down and long. A good down for the Dallas Cowboys to be blitzing. In fact, I would think right now that the Cowboys should be blitzing at least 2, a linebacker and a safety man, and try to clog up the running play up the middle, force a fumble on the handoff exchange between Bartkowski, or certainly put pressure on him if he decides to put it up.
Now Andrews is the wing right, Kane the lone setback. Bartkowski has the ball, drops back, looks, throws right, and it's taken at the 15-yard line. Taken there by Francis. Wallace Francis hit immediately by Steve Wilson. It will be marked about the 16-yard line.
Again, Steve Bartkowski, a 55% pass completion ratio over the season, has thrown for 2 touchdowns in this football game, has been picking apart the secondary of the Dallas Cowboys, primarily because the Dallas front 4 has not been getting to Bartkowski. They've been working over both Steve Wilson and primarily in the first half, Aaron Mitchell. They've been having all sorts of problems, and now with the clock at 7:01 and ticking, Atlanta driving for what could be the clinching touchdown, certainly a very important field goal.
3rd and 7 at the 16-yard line. Junior Miller in motion across from wing right. Bartkowski dropping back. And again, he evades the tackler. It's hit just as he throws. It's incomplete out to the left side. Ed Too Tall Jones was there, among others. And so it's going to be 4th down, and Mazzetti comes onto the field. Tim Mazzetti.
Bartkowski, Lindsey, on that play did well just to get rid of the football. Too Tall Jones, Harvey Martin putting all kinds of pressure on him, as well they should. And Bartkowski out of the grasp threw it out of bounds, and that saved about 13 yards, because otherwise Mazzetti would be kicking this field goal from back around the 36, 37-yard line.
Warren Bryant was injured. He was assisted off the field. Offensive right tackle for the Atlanta Falcons. James is in the hole. This will be a 33-yard attempt. A 33-yard attempt for Mazzetti. James puts it down. Mazzetti boots it up. And it's good. 33-yard field goal. And so the Atlanta Falcons add 3 more. There's a pause in the action with the score, Atlanta 27, Dallas 17. Mazzetti's kicking off on the 35-yard line. James Jones takes it and topples it, picks it up at the 17 to the 20, 25, 30, 35. And he is stopped finally at the 38-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys at their own 38. Buddy Curry downfield to make the tackle for the Atlanta Falcons.
Clock, of course, now working in favor of the Falcons, who are up by 10 points. Dallas needs a touchdown. They need it very quickly. You talk about Tim Mazzetti, former bartender at Smokey Joe's in Philadelphia. Irony there, of course, would be the Eagles would play the NFC Championship game right here at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium if Atlanta wins this game.
And they are leading by a score of 27-17 with 6:28 left to play in the game. Dallas now evens up the running backs. Danny White waits for the snap. They move Dorsett back to the tailback in the I formation. White back to set up, and he's going along to the sideline. It's taken by Drew Pearson. He's hit immediately as he crossed the 50-yard line. Pearson with the catch. He was hit by Kenny Johnson. It'll be taken to the inbounds marker and spotted at the 48-yard line.
Big first down. White can't risk the interception right now. Got to put it up on every play. Pearson, a simple down and squared out about 15 yards. Ball thrown a little bit high, as was the one to Butch Johnson that was deflected and then picked off by Pridemore. Drew Pearson did well to hang on. Key Cowboy first down.
It's near the 47-yard line with the 1st and 10. Newhouse says something to Dorsett as they come up there in the I formation before they start the shift. Now they even up. Danny White calling starting signals. Motion from Drew Pearson. Right outside across. Dropping back now is White. Going long down the left sideline to Tony Hill. And it is incomplete. It was Kenny Johnson, the defender. No flag. Contact made as the ball was in the air.
Kenny Johnson, the rookie from Mississippi State, victimized earlier by both Tony Hill and by Drew Pearson. All kinds of time that time for Danny White. Cowboys need points, and they need a bunch quickly. That time, White on the square out made his move at about the 20-yard line. Excellent position by the rookie from Mississippi, number 37, Kenny Johnson, Mississippi State.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Dallas Cowboys with the ball at the Atlanta 47-yard line. Atlanta with a 10-point lead, 5.5 minutes left to play in the game. Drew Pearson to a wide right. Danny White waiting for the snap. Again drops straight back. And he throws up the middle, and it's complete to Drew Pearson. He is inside the 25-yard line. Smothered there by Roland Lawrence. It'll be marked inside at about the 23 or 4. 23-yard line, first and 10.
Indication of just how desperate Dallas is right now for points. Danny White had Robert Newhouse and Tony Dorsett working the sideline. Both were wide open for what would have been short gainers. He had to go deep. He picked up number 88 on a crossing pattern, Drew Pearson, the veteran from Tulsa. And the Cowboys are on the move, but the clock's still in the favor of the Falcons.
Ron Springs comes in, Newhouse goes out. Dorsett's the other running back in there just a moment for the Dallas Cowboys. They split the running backs here. Now, Danny White drops back again, lifts to the left side, lifts right, and throws it out to Tony Dorsett. He now struggles across the 15-yard line, inside to about possibly the 14, as it'll be brought to the inbound marker and spotted. Buddy Curry in to make the tackle. Spotted just inside the 15-yard line.
And the clock continues to wind down. It'll be inside 4 minutes when this play is snapped. You wonder why Dorsett, when he gathered the ball in at about the 20-yard line, when he saw the three defenders coming towards him, didn't make a move for the sideline, didn't try to get out of bounds and stop the clock and save about 20, 25 seconds.
Second down and about 1 yard to go for the first down. The ball is inside the 15-yard line. Dorsett and Ron Springs are the running backs in the ball game. Now Danny White rolls to the left side. Sets up, looks back right. Scampers out to the right side. Stops, looks, and gives an indication. Throws into the end zone. A touchdown for the Dallas Cowboys. Touchdown as it was caught on a leaping ground in the end zone.
Drew Pearson, number 88. And how in the world he ever caught that one, you'll never know. He was in motion from the left side, coming back to the right side. Danny White back in the pocket, rolled out to the left, looked for Pearson. He made his move to the outside, was covered and then double covered. White simply scrambled out to the right side, was in some trouble. Then Pearson cut the pattern back on a post, is running diagonally in the end zone. Danny White with his finger points where he wants him to go. Drew Pearson went up and comes down with a catch right in front of number 37, Kenny Johnson.
Raphael Septien in to attempt the conversion. The ball is down, it's booted up, and it's good. So the Dallas Cowboys have come back to add 7 points, and we have a 27-24 ball game here in Atlanta, and the clock says we have 3 minutes, 40 seconds left to play. Atlanta is leading it by 3 points, and the crowd a little quieter than it was a few moments ago. Dallas coming back now to huddle along the 30-yard line before they put the ball up for the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. Can be an eternity right now for both of these football teams. This game is a long way from being over.
The Atlanta Falcons now, in anticipation of a possible onside kick, have moved men up. They moved 9 of them up within range, figuring that Septien will try to pull off the onside kick so that the Dallas Cowboys can retain possession.
I would think not. I think he'd kick it over that line, if anything, or kick it deep.
Mike Smith is deep. Pridemore well upfield, 15, 20 yards in front of him in tandem. Clock will start when the ball is kicked. We're still at 3:40. We're not yet to the 2-minute warning. So the clock starts now. Septien puts it up, and it's going deep. Mike Smith is there at the 10-yard line. Comes right to the 12, running laterally, and he's going to be down near the 10, and the penalty marker goes high in the air. Penalty marker goes high in the air. Dallas Cowboys are protesting to the official down there.
Well, we'll have to wait for Fred Silva, the referee. It might have been a face mask, or it might have been an elbow that was thrown a little late after Smith was on the way down. In any event, it's going to be against the Dallas Cowboys.
Silva is moving upfield now with the football in advance of the 20-yard line. And we'll hear from him.
Well, I
On the run back, number 47. Personal foul. First down.
That's the Fink scale. Was the offender. The ball is at the 24-yard line, 1st and 10.
Threw the elbow into the helmet of Mike Smith.
Kowski brings the Atlanta Falcons up with a lone setback now. Snap pass out to Kane on the right side. He struggles up the sideline, stepped out along there somewhere. It'll be marked, I think, in the vicinity of the 30-yard line. Guy Brown was there on the tackle.
Well, if you're a Falcon rooter, you've got to like that call. Aggressive play calling by Lehman Bennett, Steve Bartkowski, and the coaching staff with a 3-point lead. Knowing the explosiveness of the Dallas Cowboys, you know you've got to pick up a first down. You don't run it on first down. Stopping the clock, though. 3:25 to go as Kane went out of bounds.
2nd and 4 at the 30-yard line. Clock will start on the snap at 3 minutes, 25 seconds left to play. The running backs are in an I formation. Bartkowski going to a higher count. Andrews ahead of Kane in the I. Kane off the tail of the tandem comes right, gets nothing. He stops at the 30-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 4 yards to go for the Falcons, but the clock is running. Ed Too Tall Jones in to make the stop. Defenders coming onto the field now for the Dallas Cowboys in anticipation of the 3rd down play. Clock is running. It's winding down now to 3 minutes. It is right now exactly 3 minutes remaining to be played in the game.
Dallas has got to do two things on this play, Lindsey. Obviously, they've got to stop the Atlanta Falcons. Give Aaron Mitchell, number 34, some help on the wide side of the field. And obviously play the screen play. Last time Atlanta had 3rd and short, they came with a screen pass.
Crowd is rising now to the occasion of the 3rd down. Junior Miller moves over to a wing left. Ed Too Tall Jones started in, did not cross the line of scrimmage apparently. Kane gets the handoff. He's cut off as he tries to go left and comes back right and picks up at most a foot. And so, Ed Too Tall Jones made his move, did not come across the line of scrimmage. Clint Scale made the stop finally, and John James comes in to punt the ball. The clock's still running with 2:20.
You know what? On the mistake, Ed Too Tall Jones might have made the defensive play of the football game. How often do you see somebody 6'5", 260 running laterally along the line of scrimmage? And he ran right into the middle of that play and clogged it up. Running back had nowhere to go. The hole was clogged up right there, and that allowed the cornermen to come up for the Dallas Cowboys and make the play.
He was running out of control, and now we've wound down to the 2-minute warning. There's a timeout on the field with the score Atlanta 27, Dallas 24. John James, deep punt formation, and Jones is dropped back. James Jones standing at his own 32 to field it for the Dallas Cowboys. Clock will start on the snap. 2 minutes left to play in the game. The Falcons are leading by 3 points. James gets the snap cleanly. High trajectory kick. And Jones takes it at the 30-yard line, and he is going nowhere. Pushed back. He did not signal for a fair catch. But the kick was well covered. High trajectory gave Atlanta plenty of time to get downfield. Dallas will start 1st and 10, just short of the 30-yard line.
Well, I would think on that play, discretion might have been the better part of valor, and a fair catch would be called for. They are 70 yards away from a go-ahead touchdown. They are about 35, make it 40 yards away from being within reasonable range for Rafael Septien. The Dallas Cowboys, of course, a veteran team in this situation many times, but not with Danny White at the control. Usually it's Roger Staubach. He is retired. Danny White is in there.
Butch Johnson's in a wide left now. They go into the shotgun formation. Danny White waiting for the snap. Drew Pearson's in a wide right. Going to a high count before the snap. Taken now by Danny White. Butch Johnson. Just a little turnout, and he's taking it up near midfield. They picked it up to the 49-yard line. Kenny Johnson on the tackle.
Danny White now 22 of 34 in the football game. 12 of 15 in the second half for over 220 yards. And credit Danny White for the big play right there. He was looking in the face of an awesome Atlanta Falcons pass rush. In fact, he was sacked just as he released the ball, but not before he picked up the first down to Drew Pearson.
Picked up 20 yards, as a matter of fact, as the ball is taken to the inbound mark and spotted squarely at the 50-yard line. They want to get in field goal range. Preston Pearson is coming to the ball game for the Dallas Cowboys. He's a money ball player. Direct snap out of the shotgun now to Danny White. There's a screen right to Preston Pearson. At the 50, 45, at the 40, Preston Pearson goes to the 37-yard line. As again, Roland Lawrence came in to make the tackle with Tom Pridemore.
That's a good play call by the Dallas Cowboys. They had a convoy for Preston Pearson that time. The last time that play, Pridemore came up with the ball after Pearson was stripped of it. It might not be a bad play to come back with on this drive.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line. Direct snap to Danny White. Going long, downfield, and incomplete. Incomplete. Overthrew any possible receiver, and so let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
WBBM Chicago Sports Radio 78.
Tony Hill, 4 catches, 54 yards. Drew Pearson, 4 catches, 66 yards. Tony Dorsett, 4 catches, 24 yards. That time it was intended for Hill. Hill turned it up. White threw it out. A long incompletion stops the clock. 1:09 left to go in regulation.
Atlanta leading 27-24. Crowd on their feet here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Second down and 10 yards to go for the Cowboys. They have the ball at the 37-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons. Drew Pearson going to a wide right. Butch Johnson coming to a wide left. Shotgun formation. Danny White has the ball. He drops back. Throws a screen left. Taken by Tony Dorsett. 35, 30, 25. Struggling now toward the sideline and being pushed back, but his forward progress will be up there somewhere near the 25-yard line. Clock says that we have 52 seconds left, and it's running. Kenny Johnson made the stop on the last play. It is a first down for the Dallas Cowboys.
Butch Johnson out screaming at Fred Silva, and I'm not so sure he's not right because there were 52 seconds left to go on the clock when Danny White asked for the timeout. It's down to 49 right now. Preston Pearson is out there with Silva, and they're having a conclave.
They are, in fact. The ball is taken in there and spotted at the 22-yard line, and it is a first down. Keep in mind that the Dallas Cowboys are trailing by only 3 points, and that Raphael Septien's longest field goal of this year was 51 yards. Now the officials are over along the sideline. The clock operator in conference with Fred Silver, and now Lehman Bennett is being informed it'll be an adjustment on the time remaining to be played. The clock shows 49 seconds, but I feel that some adjustments being made on the field. So Silva again comes over to the clock operator to give him some indication of when he should start the clock, or when he should stop it, for that matter.
Well, they're approaching certainly excellent field goal range for Raphael Septien. You don't want a turnover right now. That's why I like the high percentage pass when they're alternating the running of Preston Pearson, number 26, and Tony Dorsett, number 33, on those screen passes. They both have been able to pick up big yardage. Of course, both have on their occasion been prone to fumble the football a little bit, and that's what Atlanta would like to come up with right now, is some kind of a turnover. They're driving certainly well within Septien's range, and they've got 49 seconds now. You think maybe the Cowboys thinking about the field goal. They've got 49 seconds, Lindsey. They might be thinking about the go-ahead touchdown.
They have the ball. It is outside the 22-yard line. Jay Saldy has just come into the ball game, and Dupree has come out. Here comes the Cowboys. Atlanta fans exhorting the defense of the Atlanta Falcons. Cowboys move to a wing left. Waiting to take the snap is Danny White. They're not in the shotgun here. Takes a direct snap and drops back. Goes to the left sideline, and Tony Hill can't get it across the sideline. He got the football all right, but he couldn't get it in fair territory, and so it is across the sideline marker. Kenny Johnson covering defensively.
Tell you, real tough play call that time for Danny White. He's been picked off once. That's a very risky pass on that sideline. If Kenny Johnson has another step, he steps in front of Tony Hill and comes up with the interception. Hill had possession of the football, but he was out of bounds. Tony Dorsett now checks on out. Crowd is booing because the clock did not move on that play.
Part of the adjustment of which we spoke, 49 seconds still. Second down and 10 yards to go at the 23-yard line. Still not in the shotgun here. That's Drew Pearson in motion across from the wing left. Danny White dropping back. And throws to Drew Pearson, and he has got a touchdown. Touchdown, Drew Pearson in the end zone.
No flags on the play, and here come the Dallas Cowboys from way across the field. Danny White in the face of an awesome Falcon rush. They were blitzing the left side cornerback, and White did well just to get rid of the football. He dropped back about 3 steps. Preston Pearson tried to pick up the linebacker. That was number 56 coming over there, Al Richardson. And Drew Pearson, number 88, comes down with his second consecutive touchdown catch. How quickly the fates of this football game have turned.
Conversion attempt coming now as the Dallas Cowboys have gone ahead by a score of 30-27, 42 seconds on the clock. Raphael Septien will attempt the conversion. Charlie Waters holding for him. Waters hand outstretched, puts the ball down and drops it, picks it up. He tries to scramble, he throws, and it's incomplete. Waters tried the forward pass down to the goal line, trying to get it down there. Well, the nearest man was Too Tall Jones down there. So the conversion attempt failed, and the Dallas Cowboys do not get the point that would have made it a 4-point margin. Instead, it is still a 3-point margin. Dallas over Atlanta, 42 seconds left on the clock.
And, of course, the importance of that missed extra point is obvious. The Falcons, with an excellent field goal kicker in their own right, Timmy Mazzetti, have 42 ticks on the clock with which to work. And the way Bartkowski has aired it out to Alfred Jenkins, if I were Aaron Mitchell, I'd be over on the bench saying, Coach, I need a lot of help.
He does indeed. Both teams go into their huddles now, preparatory to aligning themselves for the kickoff. 42 seconds left, and the clock does not start until the ball is touched in the field of play by a member of the receiving team.
That missed extra point could have made it a 4-point Dallas advantage. Now Atlanta can tie it up with a field goal. Of course, the way that Bartkowski goes with a bomb, an Atlanta touchdown is not beyond the realm of possibility. It was simply a misheld snap. Danny White couldn't get it down in time. Septien came forward, but the ball wasn't there. White had fumbled the ball.
Waters. Ball is at the 35-yard line, and Septien is going to kick it off now. And Mike Smith is standing back there along the 3-yard line. Here comes Septien. Puts it up. Mike Smith chases it over. It's in the end zone. He is going to run it out. Gets to the 5, to the 10, to the 15. And just across the 20 and up to the 25 and possibly the 27, there's a marker. There's a marker thrown. And tempers are flaring. Officials trying to get ball players separated on the far side. Anthony Dickerson made the tackle. And his tripping is indicated against the Atlanta Falcons. Tripping indicated on the run back. Mike Smith had one brief moment of indecision as to whether he would down the ball in the end zone and get it at the 20 or run it out. He decided to run it out. And he got it out there far enough. He got it to the 27-yard line, but the penalty's going to put it back all the way back to about the 12 or 13-yard line.
On the run back, number 51. Tripping. First down.
Jim Laughlin.
Lindsey, a very costly penalty. We'll talk about that in a second. And a very costly decision to run the ball out of the end zone. Used up 6 seconds and cost them some big yardage.
First and 10 at the 13. Bartkowski retreats, and he is dropped back there at the 3-yard line. Bartkowski, as he set up, never had a chance, as he was dropped immediately. It was Larry Cole who got to him.
That's 4 sacks by the Dallas front 4 on Steve Bartkowski in this football game. Bartkowski trots on over to talk to Lehman Bennett right now, trailing by 31 seconds to work, and they need to get it all the way up almost to the 24-yard line for a first down.
Ball is at the 3-yard line. The Dallas Cowboys leading by a score of 30-27.
Well, regardless of how this football game ends up, it has been played extremely professionally by both teams. The Falcons head coach Lehman Bennett has the Falcons in their second playoff appearance in just 3 years. They were the wild card entered back in 1978. They beat Philadelphia that year, 14-13. They went on to the NFC Divisional round. They lost to Dallas in Dallas at Texas Stadium, 27-20. And, of course, they are right back in it here as the winner in the West, having dethroned the Los Angeles Rams, who, ironically, the Cowboys had to beat as the wild card entrant to get here.
Bartkowski now is returning to the field. Falcons are huddling down literally beneath their own goal post in the end zone. Second down, 20 yards to go. They have the ball at their own 3. Clock starts on the snap. 31 seconds remaining to be played. Falcons are trailing by 3 points. Here they come out of the huddle up to the line. And Steve Bartkowski leads them up there. Kane and Andrews are the setback. Bartkowski from his own end zone. Throwing up the right sideline. And it is taken across the 20-yard line and out of bounds. So they moved it quickly to Wallace Francis as Dennis Thurman made the tackle. And it's across the 20-yard line. Clock says 24 seconds remaining to be played. It is not enough for the first down.
Dennis Thurman, Steve Wilson in there in the coverage. Actually, they would have been much wiser had they kept Francis inbounds and forced the Atlanta Falcons to use a timeout. When Francis got out of bounds, it stopped the clock with 24 seconds to go.
Third down, 2 yards to go. The ball's at the 21-yard line. Bartkowski again dropping back and looking. Throwing up the left sideline this time. Incomplete. Incomplete up the left sideline. So that's going to make it fourth down and 2 yards to go at the 21-yard line. Alfred Jenkins, man for whom it was intended. Dennis Thurman covering defensively for the Dallas Cowboys. The clock says 19 seconds left to play.
Have to wonder about that call on 3rd down and 3. Obviously, Dallas is in the pass prevent situation. Aaron Mitchell over there along with Dennis Thurman double covering Alfred Jenkins, who has a couple of very big catches for the Falcons in this football game. He has to pick up the first down. Might have been a good time to come with a screen pass or a sideline pass. Simple down and out. You go down 5, 8 yards, turn it outside, get the first down, get out of bounds, and stop the clock.
19 seconds remaining to be played in the game. Dallas 30, Atlanta 27. Fourth down, 2 yards to go at the 21. Bartkowski throwing. And it is incomplete. Incomplete. He tried to get it to Wallace Francis, and the ball goes over to the Dallas Cowboys. They get it 1st and 10 at the Atlanta 21-yard line. It is a dejected unit of Atlanta Falcons coming slowly off the field, walking as though in slow motion. The offensive unit comes off. 15 seconds on the clock. The defensive unit comes on. Jubilation among the Dallas Cowboys on the far side of the field. Dallas leading by a score of 30-27. The crowd is silent here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. That appeared to be the last gasp for the Atlanta Falcons in this football season, because the Cowboys take it over now at the 21-yard line. They come up now in position for Danny White, tempted to take it and hit the deck, and he does. He drops back 1 yard. Takes it. The clock is stopped. 12 seconds remain. He took a loss of about 2.
And that will leave the Atlanta Falcons with 1 timeout. What a job the Dallas Cowboys have done. We talk about Tom Landry being the 3rd winningest coach in the National Football League ever. 21 seasons at the helm of the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs again. Not the divisional champion, although they ended up with an identical record to the Philadelphia Eagles. They went down to the 5th tie-breaking procedure. Dallas a wild card winner. They played the Los Angeles Rams at Texas Stadium, reversing a humbling experience when the Rams just drove them right out of Anaheim 2 weeks ago, and got into this game against the winners in the West, the Atlanta Falcons. The Dallas Cowboys trailed in this game, Lindsey, 24-10. They were down by 14 points, as they were to the San Diego Chargers in that Sunday night game. And the Dallas Cowboys came back with 4 second-half touchdowns to beat the Chargers in that Sunday night game. Tom Landry felt that game and the game against the Los Angeles Rams a week ago had his team maturing much more than they had.
They do it all over again as the ball is taken by Danny White, the quarterback. He hits the deck. Clock is not stopped this time. It is run out, and this ball game is over. This ball game has ended as players leave the field. The Dallas Cowboys having come from behind to win it. And that's the end of the game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. And the final score is the Dallas Cowboys 30, the Atlanta Falcons 27.